Welcome to Big Fight Preview Wednesday Night Fights, the last one of the year, December 13th, 2023. Tonight, Batyrzhan Jukembayev against Mohamed Mimoune. That's in the super lightweight division. Got a good co-main, Kelvin Night Davis against Clarence Booth. We got some prospects from ProBox TV. It's going to be a great night. As always, I'm George Jakovic with the great champions, Paulie Najee and Chris Algieri, who are going to be calling all the action tonight. Chris, this main event, it's a good one. It's a good one. Jukembayev had a tough fight in his last one on ProBox. He's going up against a veteran, so 140-pounders, man, this division just keeps giving us fights.
Well, George, as you said, it's the last fight of the year, so of course it's got to be a good one. It's got to be a good main event. And this one is a good one. It's a very competitive fight. And you mentioned the weight class. So the prospects for these guys with a win on our air on the platform of ProBox TV is massive. We're talking about the hottest, toughest division in the world today. We got to speak to both of these fighters yesterday at our virtual press conference, and both of them understood where they belong in the sport and where they want to be in the sport. Mimoune is fighting for a ranking. He wants to get in the top 15, eventually get into the top 10, so he can work himself towards his first title fight. And Jukembayev wants to get back. He's been on the rebuild since his lone loss to now IBF world champion Subriel Matias, which he was doing well in the fight, and then his corner stopped the fight because he was taking too much damage. But since then, he's rattled off 3 good wins, one of which was on our air. Tough fight because there are no easy fights on ProBox TV. He ends up getting dropped in the first round, comes out with a split decision win. Wants to come out and be victorious today, victorious here with Mimoune, who has been on our air a bunch of times. He has been on both the winning side and the losing side, coming off a KO victory in his last fight against an undefeated fighter. So a lot on the line for both these guys, which is what the makeup of ProBox TV is all about. I think both these guys understand what this platform is. They both have been here. They understand that ProBox TV is a meat grinder and nothing but your best will do. And they also understand that where they can go from here. Wins here tonight in this weight class with the landscape of what we have in front of us is massive for both these guys. This is do or die for both of them.
Yeah, and both kind of looking for that last bit of momentum, right? This is a lot of times the kind of fights we love to make at ProBox, and the kind of fights we typically make at ProBox for all those fans that have been watching us for a while. So you got Jukembayev, the champ just mentioned, that his one loss is to Matias. That's his only loss, and he's got some good wins. His last win was kind of shaky, getting dropped like the champ said, but it was also against a stylistically weird opponent, So Jukembayev is still the kind of guy who can make things fun and also be very effective. Mimoune told us at the virtual press conference that in his mind, his only loss is to Victor Postal. He felt he won all the other fights that he didn't get the decisions. He's had some really close losses, I'll be honest with you. Like, he easily, from 23-5, honestly, there's an argument that he could be 27-1. So, and if he's not ranked, if he's 27-1, he winds up ranked, right? So that there's a fine line in boxing, unfortunately, between that you get over that hump and get into that big money situation, and you stay right below it. Both of these guys are right below it. They've kind of been tested against at a high level. Mimoune fought Victor Postal. That was the one fight where he said he really felt he came up short, and that's the only fight that he really does feel like he lost. And Postal is an ex-world champion. Jukembayev lost to Matias, who was a current world champion. Mimoune, there's an argument for all the other losses that he has that he could have won them. Very close fights. I can remember the fight with Cesar Francis. Very close fight. It was back and forth kind of fight, and he's always there. And honestly, he's gotten the accolades just below world class level. He's been the European champion, which is not an easy title to win over in Europe, and also I think he's been the IBO champion as well, which is a lesser world title belt if he's won it. If I'm not mistaken, at welterweight or super lightweight, he's had that belt. So it's he's been kind of right there. And this is the kind of head-to-head clash that you love, because both of these guys know that they're on that cusp. Both of these guys know, and they can kind of feel it, and they still have that hunger and determination and desire. And listen, if you watch them fight, they always fight this way anyway. But against one another, where they kind of know what's in front of them and what's on the other side of this wall, so to speak. You look at your opponent like a wall. You look what's on the other side of this wall. There's big opportunities in 2024, and that's what they're looking for, man. And I really, really expect a good fight, a highly skilled fight, and an action fight, because both of these guys are also hungry.
And right after this show,
he was IBO world champion, and he defended it once as well.
So he's
right after the show, it's going down 8 o'clock, right after the show. So after the show, Paulie and Chris are going to magically be ringside with Mike Goldberg. Chris Algieri, we always joke around that you sparred everyone. Well, you sparred someone in the co-main. You sparred Clarence Booth, who's taking on Kelvin Davis, who's the brother of Keyshawn. So give us a little insight into that fight. And like I said, you've been in the ring with one of the fighters.
Yeah, no, this is actually a really big step-up fight for Kelvin Davis. He's a shrieking young guy. He's obviously the brother of Keyshawn Davis. He's been on our air before, but this is a massive step up. Clarence Booth is no pushover. He has been in with some of the top guys in the world. He's been with former world champions. He's done well in those fights. He's been fighting a lot of prospects recently, and he's been used kind of as a litmus test for some of these guys. But there are guys who are a lot further on in their pro careers than Kelvin Davis is. That's why this is such a big step-up fight. For Concrete Kelvin. This is an interesting matchup. I mean, they obviously believe highly in Davis to take a fight with a guy like Clarence Booth, who's dangerous, and he's been in a lot of professional rounds. Has a ton of experience. He's got good pop, good boxing skills, super durable guy. He's been the distance, like I said, with a lot of these top prospects who he's been fighting recently. So this is a big step up for Kelvin to see what he can do with a guy like Davis. And listen, we don't have A sides. So as much as Kelvin has, he's been on our air, this is different. He's stepping into the co-main event status. It's a different kind of fight now. This isn't like you're opening the show. You are fighting in the co-main event. I always say we always have multiple main events. Our co-main events are sometimes better than the main, but they're always good. So this is definitely a step-up fight and an action-packed one that, if you're fans, you don't want to miss it.
And Booth, was he in our last chance tournament? I feel like we've seen Booth before.
He lost to Dutch over.
Yeah, so he's a
close fight.
Yeah, he's a good fighter, and he's always kind of like right there, right? He's got 8 losses, but he stepped up, and he's always competitive. He's right there. This is a really nice step-up fight. This is for Davis. This is the kind of fight. This is the kind of fight that honestly reminds me of the old Friday Night Fights main event, but it's our co-main event. You know what I mean? Because our main event is that good. And I think it's the kind of fight that can reveal to us a little bit more about Kelvin Davis if he's able to get past Clarence Booth. If he's able to get past them, in what way does he get past them? Because, again, Booth has always been a tough out for anybody that he goes head-to-head with, and he's always gives you the full effort regardless of his record of 21-8. Right. He's sort of got that gatekeeper moniker, but a win over a guy like Davis, he knows himself, puts himself he puts himself into a position of higher level as well. See, these are always the kind of fights we have here at ProBox. Guys that are right on that cusp where they're kind of one win away from moving on to bigger and better things. And that's why the fights, if you guys notice, the fights we always have here, everybody fights hungry because they're right there. It's not like there's still a reason to believe in your own career when you fight here at ProBox, because the opportunity placed in front of you is an opportunity that really can get you to a much higher place with a good win, a win, not just a win, but a good win, especially here on this network, and you could be off to big fights. Or maybe you return here and continue to do it here until you get the big fights. But either way, fans come first here. We're your boxing channel for a reason, and we've got some bangers here going on in a couple hours, and right after the show, right?
Right after the show, Paulie. And what else we have is, besides the fights that we mentioned, Paulie, we got prospects. We got tomorrow's champions, potentially tomorrow's champions. We got 2 of them on this card. Najee Lopez has a fight, and Dominic Valle has a fight. Chris, Najee, it looks like he's got just a bright future in front of him.
Yeah, I mean, bright future, and part of the reason we got to interview Najee a couple weeks back. That's on our air. So if you're not tuned into ProBox TV, definitely subscribe, check that out. We got a really nice interview with Najee about what it's like fighting on ProBox TV's platform, the kinds of opponents that he's been fighting recently. Fought a really, really tough guy in his last fight. Champ had mentioned you got to look past the record for a lot of these guys, and I think with all the guys that we have on our air, you really need to. His future is bright as long as he can keep winning, especially on our air. But if he does, and he does it the way that he's been performing recently, he'll definitely be ready when the time comes.
Dominic Valle, Paulie, he's on the undercard as well. He's 7-0, 5 knockouts. He's another prospect. He's another prospect that ProBox has.
Yep, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Dominic Valle, he's the one that's going to kick it off, right? He's only going to kick off our TV fights. Either way, Dominic Valle has been one guy that we've been following here with 7-0. Not only is he 7-0 with undefeated, but he's also very, very fun to watch. He gets his numbers close to 100 punches around each time, and he's not just sloppy with it. He's sharp, throwing a lot of punches, brings up the pace and sort of suffocates you little by little. Sharp body puncher as well, knows how to vary his attack very well, and knows how to make the fights fun each time. So against a guy 11-1-1 with 7 KOs, we don't match you easy here at ProBox. You want to be a ProBox prospect, you're going to earn it. And this way, our guys are either going to sink or swim. But if they continue to swim, when it's time to fight world-class fighters, it's going to be no shirt, no dirt off their shoulders because they're already going to have been used to fighting this level of competition.
So, Chris, I can't believe the year is almost over. This is the last one of the year, and there's been a lot of great fights. But reminisce a little bit about the bigger fights of the year. One of them, to me, was the last one, Orlando Gonzalez and Jorge Castaneda. I mean, it's a fight of the year type of fight with the drama and the knockdown. And I mean, it was an incredible year on ProBox. So what are some of the bigger fights we've had this year?
Definitely that fight that you mentioned there with Orlando Gonzalez. And it's funny, that wasn't just a fight of the year on our air. That was a global level fight of the year type fight. The world was talking about that fight afterwards. It was that exciting. Definitely go back and watch it. Hey, listen, Orlando Gonzalez's other fight that we had on air against Cesena. That fight was awesome too. Back and forth fight. I mean, really, really a lot of hunger, a lot of heart, a lot of will, a lot of skill in both guys. We've had a great year, man. It's really been a blur of how many fantastic fights we've had. It's just funny that two of the best fights that I remember calling this year, Orlando Gonzalez was in. And I remember the first one, I was like, man, that's the best fight I've called for ProBox. And then the second fight, that was better. That was a better one.
No, I thought the first one was better, but that's the kind of debate you can have here with somebody.
Yeah,
I thought the
100%.
Cesena fight was better. Because at the end of the Cesena fight, I really couldn't figure out who won. At the end of the second one, the one he just had, I kind of edged it towards Gonzalez, but he almost gave it away, right? So that kid's one of the funnest guys we've had here at ProBox TV. I also think of, I think Van Sicklen fought earlier this year in a draw. We had another Mexican fighter, man. That was a nice banger one too, man. I'm telling you, we've had some really nice fights. If you guys have been following us all year, you got a lot to look forward to in 2024. So tell your friends, because ProBox TV, man, not only are we here to stay, but we're going to continue to give you guys more and more content, more and more live shows, more and more everything. The more subscribers we have, the more we can do for you guys, because the channel gets paid on the advertisement. So the more subscribers and the more people follow us, the more we can reinvest into this company and give you guys better and better boxing content, which you guys love.
Hey, Paulie, I got to ask, I don't know if people can see it at home, but you got a Jake LaMotta shirt on. What's the inspiration behind that, man? Jake LaMotta, it makes me want to watch some fights right now.
The Bronx Bull, man. What do you mean, what's the inspiration? New York.
He is the
Raging Bull. I mean, what's the Italian-American world champion? I mean, for me, Jake is like fairy tale stuff, because for me, Jake is not only a world champion at a time where it meant so much to be a boxing world champion, because boxing was such a big sport in the United States. But also, he was an Italian-American at a time where it was really, really cool to be an Italian-American in the United States, where we had a big, big culture. So Jake was an Italian-American world champion at a time where being an Italian-American and being a boxer were both super cool. And he had both at the same time. So, I don't know, man. For me, Jake lived a fairy tale life, even if he couldn't get out of his own way half the time.
Little known fact for the people at home: when Paulie has an espresso, he turns into a raging bull.
You can tell I had a coffee, right?
That's for sure. That's for sure. And he'll be one at 8 o'clock tonight, because ProBox TV is back with the Wednesday Night Fight Series. Guys, I've asked you this before, but Chris, calling these fights, and by the way, you two and Goldie, you guys are an all-star team calling fights. You really are. But Chris, your excitement level, because you have it every single one of these shows. This is the last one of the year. So, you know, you're a former fighter. What are you feeling as an analyst, knowing that you're going to be calling great fights?
Man, I love these shows, man. I have so much fun. First of all, working with the champ Najee and Mike Goldberg. I mean, it's a dream come true. I always say calling fights is a dream job, but now I'm actually calling fights that are like highly, consistently competitive. I always know that my job is going to be fun. I never have to show up and be like, oh, I'm gonna have to fill. Because listen, Paulie, I know you've been on cards like that too. It's like, oh man, we got to talk through this one, or we got to find something exciting to talk to the fans about. We never have that problem on ProBox TV.
Guys, I think it's time for you guys to go. You guys have to get
the app. Get the app. I'm telling you, the more you get into this, the more we can provide you.
And it's free. Paulie, the app is free. You don't have to pay any money. You see great fights every other Wednesday.
That's
and
right.
Tell your friends. Tell your friends. Don't just be the one guy. Tell more people. Tell everybody.
The best compliment is a referral.
There you go. There you go. Well, listen, guys, you guys have to go get changed. You got fights to call coming up next here on ProBox TV. I can't wait to see these fights. Remember, ProBox TV is your boxing channel.
fight.
He's a much better boxer than even he believes he is.
You're surviving, you're trying to sneak a win, but you want every opportunity that you can.
Good fighters, great fights. That's the mantra over at ProBox TV. Tonight, it is our final edition of Wednesday Night Fights for the year 2023 from our world headquarters in Tampa, Florida. This is ProBox TV. We don't promote boxers, we promote boxing. And we get things started with a 6-round super featherweight fight. 7-0, 23-year-old Dominic Valle told us he has made a lot of improvements for tonight's bout, a multitude of upgrades. So we anticipate a performance like we have never seen before. His opponent, Jenel Lausa of the Philippines, who fights tonight for the first time in the United States. Next up, it's a battle of unbeatens. Puerto Rico versus Cuba over 8 rounds in the light heavyweight division. The proud Puerto Rican 8-0 Najee Lopez. Back in October, Chino was vicious in his utilization of the uppercut, earning him his 6th career win by knockout. Tonight, he battles 7-0 Cuban, the Golden Hand, Yildo Depestre, an ultra-aggressive pressure fighter. Our co-main scheduled for 8 in the welterweight division. The eldest of the DB3, 10-0 Kelvin Davis, is back here on ProBox TV for the 3rd time and now mentored by Bomac, Brian McIntyre. His opponent, Mr. St. Pete, Clarence Booth, who we first met in year 1 here on ProBox TV. He was one of the 8 to compete in our last chance tournament. And our main event is scheduled for 10 rounds for the WBA Continental North America Super Featherweight belt. The owner of that title, 21-1, Batyrzhan Jukembayev, who's also now training full-time with Bomac, looks to defend that belt for the first time against the former IBO World Super Lightweight Champion, Mohamed "The Problem" Mimoune. Hi again, everybody. I'm Mike Goldberg, of course, joined by my powerful partners, the former 2-time world champion, the Magic Man, Najee, former world champion, Chris Algieri. It's a holiday season. Can I just get a little happiness right here? You know, like cheesing. It's the season's greetings, and what a main event we have. And when you look at 777, which is the nickname of Jukembayev, he has been flying very high as of lately.
That's a big plane, you know what? And he's got a few wins in a row since the loss to Matias. You know, Matias has been, his star has been growing and growing more since the loss since he defeated Jukembayev. So, you know, that loss looks not as bad each time Matias performs. And Jukembayev has been doing his own work since then, trying to get himself back into position. And if that's your only loss, really, after you get a few wins, impressive wins after that in a row, you know, you're on your way. Last fight, he had a little bit of trouble against Roldan, who is kind of the kind of style nobody really looks good against. Right. But Jukembayev was happy to get out of here with a win last time. A win tonight over a solid, rugged, grizzled veteran like Mimoune can really put him into the picture at 140 pounds. And that is a big picture at 140 pounds. With a lot of good fighters there, he can put himself into some kind of opposition for one of the bigger names.
Mohamed Mimoune trains at home in France most of the time. Also spends a lot of time with Superman, the Hall of Famer, Roy Jones Jr. He is a problem. That is his nickname, but he was as problematic, Chris, in the last fight as we've ever seen for his opponent, scoring multiple knockdowns.
Yeah, I mean, Mimoune's one of those guys you got to look past the numbers. He has 5 losses, but according to our fighter meetings on Monday, our press conference, he said that he was robbed in 4 of those. He believed that he only dropped the decision to Victor Postol, former world champion, excellent fighter. He's beaten, I think, 6 or 7 undefeated fighters in his career. Like you said, his last outing was one as well. Listen, he is a problem, but he also has to understand he's 36 years old with 5 losses. This really is probably his last chance, and he's got to understand that. He knows the platform he's on. The 140-pound division is red hot right now, and he wants to get that top 10 ranking so he can get a title shot.
Look at our partner, Chris Algieri, taking us all the way to Clarence, booth and the last chance tournament contender, right?
Well, I was going to say that. You know, we kind of specialize in last chances here.
Yeah.
Last chances and also great chances to put yourself back into position. And if you're on 140 pounds, it's a great weight class to be in. Yes, it's a tough field, a lot of world-class fighters, but at the same time, there's a lot of money opportunities there. So if you can look impressive, you can put yourself into a fight with one of those impressive names and get yourself paid and possibly get yourself moving on to bigger and better things if you're even able to get to there and then win.
I think if Devin Haney moves to 140, he'll look pretty good. Wait, that already happened.
Yep.
And he looked good.
And he looked damn good.
Spectacular. All right, as promised, let's get things started. Our final Wednesday night here on ProBox TV, and as we talked about, we feature one of our own, and he is one of our very own who has been ultra impressive. 6-round super featherweight fight. Our tail of the tape, Dominic Valle, 23 years old, much taller and much longer than his opponent from the Philippines tonight. Jenel told us he knows he needs to get inside of Valle's reach and do his damage inside with pressure and a lot of body work. All right, official introductions for the first fight of the night come from our ProBox TV's own Mark Lichtenfeld.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the ProBox TV Event Center, this bout is scheduled for 6 rounds in the super featherweight division. Your judges for this contest, Joe Ware, Joanne Richard, and Brian Gary. Your referee in charge is Gene Del Bianco. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the red, blue, and white. He weighed in at 128.4 pounds. His record, 11 wins, 1 loss with 1 draw, 7 wins by knockout, all the way from Makati City, Manila, Philippines. Please welcome Jenel, the Demolition Man, Lausa. And fighting out of the red corner, wearing the gray, yellow, and white. He weighed in at 133 pounds. He is undefeated. For the record of 7 wins, no losses, with 5 wins by knockout. From Tampa, Florida, he is Dominic Valle!
Gentlemen, we discussed the rules in the dressing room. Your trunks look okay here, your trunks look okay here. Unless you've got any questions, let's touch gloves. Best of luck, let's get to work.
Our final
Good to go.
Wednesday
Not yet, not
here
yet.
on ProBox TV. 7-0 Dominic Valle against 11-1-1 Jenel Lausa. Here we go. It's time to fight. Green and yellow with white for Valle, red, blue, and white trunks for the Demolition Man from the Philippines. Dominic's older brother Marcus fought a couple of weeks ago, got himself another victory, and now it is the younger brother looking to move to 8-0 and cap off what has been a spectacular calendar year.
Yeah, Dominic is one of the most exciting guys that we consistently have in our air. Throws tons and tons of punches. Great combination puncher. Hits the head and the body equally as well. Big for the weight class, imposes that size. You see him controlling the center of the ring here.
Yeah, that's what him and his brother do well, actually. The Valle brothers, one of the things they do well is that they take control of that center ring. They force a fast pace. And, you know, it tends to become very difficult for the opponent to keep them off. Sometimes, you know, they like to bang it out more than maybe is convenient for them, but it makes them exciting fighters.
Valle took gold at the 2016 National Silver Gloves, 2018 National Junior Olympics, defeating Keon Davis, the youngest brother of the DB3. Kelvin Davis fighting in our co-main event tonight. And the Olympic silver medalist, his brother Keyshawn, will be in attendance and join us here on our broadcast.
I watched some tape on Lausa. He's a tough guy. I mean, he's older, sure, but I mean, listen, can never doubt on a Filipino. I fought one of those guys once, Mr. Manny Pacquiao.
Yes, you did.
And he is. They come from a fantastic fighting culture.
They're prideful too.
Yes.
They always come tough.
Lausa looks to be in great condition.
Lausa tells Dominic, yo, keep him up. You even referees don't fight.
Listen, young man.
Interesting that he got his combat start in mixed martial arts. Spent some time in the Octagon, the Ultimate Fighting Championship, but he said, I always love boxing. It's my go-to, and that is what he's going to again tonight here on ProBox TV.
And those guys that come from MMA typically are lacking a little bit in boxing technique, but they usually come in pretty tough. You know, they're usually durable and tough. And you see Lausa kind of sitting back, and then he threw those big overhand rights a few seconds ago.
Yeah, doing a good job of changing levels with that. Gets his head down low and punches over the top, which is a smart tactic against a taller guy like Dominic is. This is where Valle really does great work, is when he has his opponent's back against the ropes. He maintains that middle distance really well, uses that long reach and height, and drops bombs.
Good shot landed by the Demolition Man.
Yeah, it was a nice counter from Lausa, countering with that left hook.
No problem, I can wait. Thank you. Don't worry, take your time. You okay, buddy? Thank you. Thank you. Give them to her.
Getting set for round number 2. Our beautiful ProBox TV ring girls ending the year in style with us. Mike Goldberg, Paulie Malignaggi, Chris Algieri, Dominic Valle said in the fighter meetings, as you see his Filipino opponent getting set for round 2. Training is my 9 to 5. I train 3 times a day. This is my life. And he talked about looking to improve every single day, and that's really what the journey's all about, guys. Big swing and a miss by Lausa.
That's exactly what I was telling you about last round. He'll sit back, but he'll look to get you with the big shots.
He throws everything hard, too. He's really saving up for those power shots.
7 of his 11 victories have been by knockout. Sneaky uppercut by Valle lands.
Yeah, it was a good sharp shot on the inside. Split the guard of Lausa.
I say break, you both break. Okay, Lon?
Scheduled for 6. Third fight of 2023 for the younger of the Valle brothers, Dominic.
Gonna have to see how that conditioning holds up. Throwing those big shots like that, especially when you're missing, can really sap the gas tank.
I think that's why he's not really active, Cam, right? Because he just kind of sits back. He'll save it up for like 30 seconds, and then he'll throw some bombs. He'll cover it up.
Yeah, I saw some heavy breathing in between rounds 1 and 2, and now you see Lausa holding every chance he gets on the inside.
Yeah, and those body shots Valle is throwing, you know, those are not only smart, but they're not helping Lausa's cause either.
Dominic Valle started at age 12. Comes from a boxing family. Of course, he and his older brother, but their father and grandfather.
He's not hiding those tie-ups either, making it very, very blatant.
I'll tell you what, they're not helping his cause either, because he's wasting energy tying up tough too. He's tying up really hard. He's not.
Oh,
big shot,
huge shot. Those uppercuts, vicious.
That's not a good sign when a guy rolls on his back and puts his arms out.
It is all over, just like that. Dominic Valle better than ever.
Pardon me?
Well, it was all or nothing but Lausa. He was going to go all in or all out, and he went all out. He tried to go all in, and he cracked out.
5 minutes.
I'll say when a guy goes down, he rolls onto his back.
He's trying to say slow. Let's see, man.
Quick, tell me, low blow.
That was a beautiful liver shot.
I mean, I didn't see it a lot. That's about as good a body shot as
it's over. That was a liver shot.
Lausa deserves an Oscar. He's trying. I think he doesn't realize we have monitors here, too.
Right. Yeah,
he's like, all right, you got me. You see him looking at the crowd, like, all right, you got me.
Those replays are clean.
They certainly are, and he set it up with those multiple uppercuts, and then bam to the body, and it is all over. Dominic Valle 8-0 with 6 finishes.
Yeah, that gas tank goes down a little bit more every time he was throwing a big haymaker and missing.
Yep.
And he was also wrestling. And you know what? Those body shots didn't help his cause either, like I said. I mean, he was little by little, and in that last one.
Yeah, I mean, he looks fit, but I was wondering about his conditioning. He was breathing really heavy after round 1.
Yeah, it was basically like a kamikaze mission, man. Like shoot everything into it, and if it doesn't work, well, you're out.
Dominic Valle said he made multiple improvements, upgrades for this fight. He said we would see another level that he has not shown us before, and man, did he look good with the victory this evening.
Onwards and upwards, right, Goldie?
You got that right, Chris.
Lausa's record's what, 11-1?
11-2
His
now.
only loss was in Kazakhstan in his last fight.
Yeah, man, you know, you can see he's kind of durable, and, you know, that's from that MMA culture. Lacking the technique, and that's what ended up costing him, too. Nice, clean body shot from Bayev after setting up with the little uppercuts, like you said, Goldie.
And the loss was to Solobayev in Kazakhstan. Here is Mark Lichtenfeld to make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout comes to a halt at 1 minute, 33 seconds of the second round. Your winner by knockout and still undefeated, Dominic Valle!
His wife, Daniela, his 5-month-old son in attendance tonight. Luca watching dad for the second time. And they are going to have a great holiday season.
And his brother Marcus incognito in the hoodie, too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think they do that for each other. Dominic tries to hide in the background for Marcus's fights as well.
Yeah. It's got to be tough watching a brother, man. I can't imagine. I always get nervous when my friends fight. When Paulie used to fight, I would get nervous. I didn't even know him that well back then.
Your nephew fights.
Yeah.
Well, let's look at the handiwork of now 8-0 Dominic Valle.
Beautiful uppercuts on the inside. You see the big, I call those punches fat. There's a lot of air on those punches he's swinging. But Valle stayed very, very short. Those uppercuts set up the liver shot. That was not a low punch. That was a beautiful shot to the liver.
That was textbook stuff, man.
Boom. Oof. All she wrote. Round 2. Yeah, and that's not a good sign. When you got a guy on his back, arms laid out, he don't look like he's getting beat the count.
And he did not. And things start out in style for Dominic Valle. Congratulations to Dominic and Marcus on what has been a very impressive year. Early happy holidays to everyone. Of course, I've got the Magic Man, Mohamed Najee, former world champion Chris Algieri, my powerful partners. First and foremost, you talked about it in the preview. It has been an absolute honor to be with you this season.
Oh, thank you, Gold. I mean, I'm every day I show up to this desk, I'm counting my stars, man. It's a beautiful place to be.
Did you see me throw the hockey season in, Paulie?
Yeah, well, it's a good hockey season. The range is not so good last night, but overall, we're having a good year.
All of a sudden, the Sharks are doing something, but, you know.
So is ProBox TV, though. I mean, we've had a great year. You know, us three have had the privilege of sitting ringside and watching some of the best fights of the year, you know, and we've seen the fanfare grow for the channel. We've seen the fanfare grow both by the fighters who are happy to be here fighting and the fans as well. We've gotten a good response, and we really look forward to a terrific 2024.
And also the turnout. We got people in here already early. People tune in early because they know the fights are good.
So I'm hearing that the commission has overturned this fight, and they have said it was a low blow, but we'll wait to get the official word as we go on. We did mention Devin Haney moving up to 140 pounds at the Chase Center in San Francisco on Saturday night, and he was absolutely spectacular.
This is the best Devin Haney. I'm sold, people. I mean, I thought Devin Haney was a good fighter, but I didn't think he was a great fighter, a special fighter. And what I saw that last night was unbelievable.
Now, I've got a different reason for wanting to watch Devin Haney. Not that I'm curious about, this kid's talented, but is he good enough? Now I know he's good enough. I want to see him in some good fights because I want to see the matchups. As a boxing fan, I want to see the matchups.
Just because of the ability of Haney to stick to the script. Yeah. I've been saying it for a while. And this is where my punch comes to you, Paulie. I've been saying it for a while about Devin. Devin's number one attribute, number one asset is his discipline.
Regis Prograis could have been training right next to him, right beside him, being in there sparring him, eating the same thing, doing the same training camp, in his training camp, knew the game plan, and still couldn't beat Devin Haney. I've never seen him be able to execute like that. Like, there's always been iffy moments with him in each fight. There was never an iffy moment, man. He was always sure of everything that he did. I was wrong, and I've never been so wrong in my life. And yeah, and I own up to it, people. I ain't running. I'm right here.
Everybody's been talking about Devin Haney, and man, oh man, the power that he utilized was spectacular. All right, we said a moment ago there was some question about if it would be a DQ or no contest or a victory, and Paulie, he looked at the video, and it is a win for Dominic Valle.
Yeah. I mean, I had to get up during that highlight clip we just showed. I went right to Gene Del Bianco, the referee, and he told me, no, we overturned it from a no contest, so we thought it was going to be two-way knockout. So it's a stoppage for Valle.
And Paulie was into it because I saw him doing this as he was talking.
Come on, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I said, bro, you can't. That was a great knockout. That was a great body shot.
Can't take that away.
Picture perfect stuff.
Yeah.
And indeed, the victory goes to Dominic Valle. Gets us started in style. When we come back, it is time for Chino Najee Lopez, the 24-year-old who is 8-0 with 7 wins by knockout. Tail of the tape for this, our second fight of the night. Scheduled for 8 rounds in the light heavyweight division. Najee Lopez, 24 years old. His opponent, Yildo Depestre, born in Cuba, training in Miami. 6 years his elder, 3 inches taller. Najee generally has a reach advantage, but Yildo and Najee both with a 79.5 reach. Should be a spectacular matchup. 8-0 against 7-0 in our second fight on a Wednesday night. This one in the light heavyweight division on ProBox TV. Once again, here is Mark Lichtenfeld.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, someone has got to go in this 8-round bout in the light heavyweight division. Your judges, William Glover, Joe Ware, and Joanne Richard. And your referee is Chris Young. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the gold with black. He weighed in at 173 pounds. His record, 7 wins, no losses, with 5 wins by knockout. From Miami, Florida, please welcome Yildo Mano de Oro Depestre. And fighting out of the red corner, wearing the blue and cream. He weighed in at 174.6 pounds. He is also undefeated. 8 wins, no losses, with 7 wins by knockout. From Atlanta, Georgia, he is Najee Chino Lopez.
Offensive loose. Look on the blue corner. Okay, gentlemen, listen. I'll consider this legal. Consider this legal. You see such a dressing. Expect tough, clean fight. Commands of all the time. Take cells all the time. Touch him up.
Someone as big, even taller than Najee tonight. Najee Lopez looking to finish 2023 on a high. His opponent, his nickname is the Golden Hand.
Red corner, you ready? Blue corner, you ready? Box!
Here we go! It's time to fight. Najee Lopez in the blue and green trunks, gold and black for Yildo Depestre. 6'5". Najee coming in at 6'2". Their reach, as we showed you on the tail of the tape, is identical at 79.5 inches.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen Najee in the ring with someone taller and an equal reach before.
Damn, I think last fight, the guy was pretty tall.
That guy was tall too, yeah.
He was. Back to back, he gets on his...
He was a 6'5".
Because Najee's tall, pretty tall for the weight himself.
6'2", tall for the weight. 6'5", that's rare to see.
We're finding guys that make him look short.
Yeah.
Imagine how I feel.
And after and after toying with the possibility of fighting at 168, Najee very comfortable here at 175.
Yeah, and one of the things I noticed on the tape about Yildo, he's slow-footed, slow-handed, and I think Najee saw that as well, and is feeling very, very comfortable here in round number 1. He came right out his man, and now you can just see the difference in the hand speed.
Yeah, and even controlling range very well, and that's going to be a problem for a guy who's as slow as Depestre. Depestre trying to do a job of holding his ground, and he's hoping to kind of lure Najee Lopez in, but Lopez using that jab first and backing up Depestre nicely.
Yeah, you see, I mean, Najee's getting off and getting under the shots of the taller Depestre at ease.
Najee had that long layoff after suffering the broken jaw. He has come back and just gotten better and better here on ProBox TV, your boxing channel, 24/7, 365 news, talk shows, and of course, every other Wednesday, we have our Wednesday night fights live from our world headquarters. Good right hand over the top.
The problem Depestre is having is he's not able to punch back when Najee punches because he's so focused on covering up everything. He's not even using the catch and shoot or anything. So he's either in full defense or full offense. You may have heard me call in the past, your turn, my turn.
Yeah.
You're not going to beat Najee Lopez if you're your turn, my turn. See, he goes again. He's full defense there.
Good work to the body from Najee.
He attempted to punch after Najee was done. He's going to have to try to punch in between, which is going to require speed, Chan, and that's what he said he's lacking.
Speed and footwork. He does not have great balance. Depestre is very heavy on his feet. That's why he's getting pushed back on a lot of these punches that he catches on those gloves, Chan.
Started boxing at age 16. At 6'5", I know this is a shocker. He played basketball and ran track back in Cuba. Left Cuba 2 years ago via Nicaragua, and now calls Miami, Florida home.
Actually, Depestre landed a good right hand right before that sequence that knocked Lopez off balance. That's one thing about, I did notice in the tape too, he can punch, Depestre, so he is the... Oh.
Lopez.
It's a knockdown.
Ready to go, baby? All right. Ring the bell. Bell over. Round over.
You know, I think when we see that replay, we're going to see, I don't think that punch actually landed. I think it hit at the glove.
The force.
Yeah,
and
the force of the shot.
He's kind of square, and that's it. That's the thing, you got to have footwork.
You understand? Don't get careless.
Mark Foray, great foray. In the corner of Najee Lopez, also fellow Puerto Rican, the chosen one, Edgar Berlanga, in the corner of Najee, right at the end of the round.
He got around the glove,
Yeah,
maybe.
let's see if it came around. No,
on the glove.
No, I saw that.
Squared.
And Najee didn't even really have his.
Yeah, you see what he was doing? He was lifting his back leg. He was trying to step in with his back leg. So when that shot landed, he was actually on 1 foot for that instant. That's why you don't change stances in between or pick your feet up in between like that, on the inside like that. He got hit as he was on 1 foot, and it dropped him.
We had a saying in the gym: "Slow feet don't eat." Yeah, well, Depestre's gonna have some trouble getting his teeth into Najee tonight.
Or smart feet, smart fighter.
Smart.
As I always give credit to my buddy Peter Welch, South Boston. Najee Lopez, round number 2, scored the knockdown late at the end of round 1.
Najee in complete control here. But like I said, I think he should take this very seriously. Depestre can punch.
The only time that Lopez has gone the distance in his professional career was his first fight after that long layoff, healing from the broken jaw.
I feel like Lopez is taking this seriously, the champ. I feel like he's, you know, kind of being methodical and careful. He came out fast, throwing those shots, see if he could back up Depestre. But since then, he's kind of thinking his way through this. He's picking his shots nicely. Nice jab there, splitting the guard of Depestre.
Depestre made his professional debut March 25th of last year. Tonight is 8th fight in 629 days, so 1 year, 8 months, 19 days. He's averaging a fight as a pro about every 78 days, so trying to make up for lost time.
So number one thing a young fighter can do is stay busy, stay in the gym, roll each camp into the next fight, and just keep building. Like you said earlier, Goldie, these careers are long. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
You got that right. Depestre trying to come over the top. Najee had the hands up. The Cuban 7-0 with 5 finishes. Chino, the Puerto Rican, Najee Lopez, 8-0 with 7 finishes. Doubles up on the jab. And a great uppercut. And I talked in the open about those vicious uppercuts he utilized against Kynell Wheeler.
I tell you what, Depestre tried one back and just missed his.
Yeah, he's just missing with some big shots.
And again, 1-1-2.
But I like how responsible Najee Lopez is being with the hand positioning, the balance, just the selection of shots. He's not getting reckless in there. I think he understands that Depestre can be a dangerous puncher, despite the fact that, you know, he is slow and kind of methodical.
Yeah, but he's the one feeling those shots, so he knows the guy can punch. So, like you said, he's dotting his I's, crossing his T's.
Najee digging into the body a moment ago. But really setting things up tonight, guys, with the jab.
Yeah, doing a great job of keeping those hands at home from Depestre and then banging those right hands through the guard.
The chosen one, Edgar Berlanga, 21-0, 16 knockouts. In the corner of Dominic Valle a moment ago, in the corner of Najee Lopez. They have been training together.
Yes, sir. Get back to your jab and shoot the jab at 1-2. When you're there, hit the body, but don't stay in the center. Go back to your jab, okay?
Double jab right hand. Your jab turn into a hook, straight right hand. All right, there, man. He's reaching for it.
Trabaja rejupe. Muy bien. No puede estar afracado un solo golpe. Tira a la derecha abajo y swing arriba. Está ubicado en la defensa nada más. Le está dejando que haga la pelea a él. Trabaja tú primero. La mano la hace. La mano
letting him make the fight. Keep your hand up front. The instructions from the corner of Yildo Depestre. Najee Lopez, brilliant at the basics thus far, and comes right to center ring to start round number 3. Blue and green for Lopez, gold and black for Depestre.
Najee utilizing the feint really well. And he's got Yildo there biting on everything.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you have those quick hands, you can get the guys a little bit paranoid. And the speed can start to work for you in the body shot.
Love that combination. The right uppercut splits the guard, left hook to the liver, right around the elbow.
Najee looks absolutely tremendous. And down goes Depestre. It is all over. Najee Lopez, 9-0, 8 finishes.
Just like that.
Great call by the ref. He saw he was really hurt and stopped it, and there's no argument from Depestre.
Christopher Young all over it, guys.
I don't think Depestre knew what hit him. I mean, that was Najee. The difference Najee was doing here with that last salvo was he put a follow-up combination of speed on top of the initial combination. He was putting the initial combination, he's playing it safe because he knows this guy can punch, kind of getting his timing. But you'll notice here in this final salvo, he did something different. He lands a shot here, Lands the initial shots right here, and then he'll kind of just put the shots together beautifully. See that speed and power? He kind of let him go more in combination than he had done earlier, and that's because he's finally started to get a timing of Depestre, and he started feeling comfortable staying just a little longer and putting together those power shots. And like we said earlier, champ, I mean, Najee Lopez can punch, so if he's digging him in there, that's what happens. And also Depestre, like we said earlier, he's your turn, my turn. He stays in full defensive mode there. He doesn't even think about punching in between Lopez, and so there's nothing that's going to discourage Lopez once he lets those hands go like that.
Najee was smart to completely disarm his man in those first 2 rounds before, like you said, letting those combinations go, and they got him out of there.
Yeah, you just get that feeling once you start to get the timing down. You get that feeling. You kind of feel that it's a natural instinct you have through the experience that a guy like Lopez has, all the talent, the skills, the cerebral intelligence, and then you just kind of feel out your opponent in that way, and you kind of know when you can step in and out, and when you can step in and stay just a little longer. And that was what Lopez did there in that last salvo. He stayed in there a little longer than he had throughout any of the shots he landed throughout the fight, because he now knew, okay, I can make my move right now.
Najee Lopez victorious here in his last fight of 2023, our last Wednesday night on ProBox TV. To make it official, Mark Lichtenfeld.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Chris Young stops this bout at 48 seconds of the 3rd round. Your winner by technical knockout and still undefeated, Najee Lopez.
48 seconds, round number 3. Najee Lopez with another finish. Edgar Berlanga jumping around, excited for his new teammate, if you will. They have spent a lot of time training together, and both Dominic Valle and Najee Lopez going out in this calendar year in style. Round 1.
Yeah, we see some of that beautiful work from Lopez. Did a great job early on, playing with his distance, using that jab, keeping those hands pinned from his opponent there. There you saw a nice left hand that landed, actually caught Depestre off guard and off balance and him on the seat of his pants. But man, it was all Lopez. And then when he decided to turn it up, let those hands go in combination, that was all she wrote. Boom.
Right hand,
and right hand again.
Boom.
If it ain't broke.
No, it is not.
Keep throwing it.
We've watched the journey since day 1 of the Valle brothers, of Najee Lopez, and they continue to get better every single fight. When we come back, it's Kelvin Davis time, and his brother Keyshawn, the silver medalist, will join us here on ProBox TV. Surrounded by brilliance. World champion, 2-time world champion, Olympic silver medalist, Keyshawn Davis. First and foremost, it is great to see you here.
Yes, sir.
You've been on cards with your brother Kelvin before. Now you get to sit and watch. Is it easier to be back in the locker room getting ready, or are you more nervous when you're sitting here with us?
Definitely sitting here watching. I always, every time my brothers go in there and fight Keon, as well as my younger brother, I just be wanting to get in the ring and just finish the job for him. So sitting back and just being calm is definitely it's just hard for me.
But let's get, before Paulie and Chris get to you, let's get right to the great news. Congratulations. Keon is going to be an Olympian just like you.
Yes, sir, man. And Man, that day, man, when he just made it happen for himself, but also just for DB3, you know, just for our brand itself, him, an extra brother going to the Olympics is just big for us, and that was just a moment for us, and I'm just so happy for him.
And Keyshawn will join us during the fight as well. Paulie, you guys know each other well, I'm sure.
Oh, you know, Keyshawn, you talk about the brand DB3. You know, it's obviously a camaraderie between you brothers. You know, we've seen brothers have success. Two brothers have success in boxing, but all three. I don't know if we've seen if that's unprecedented to have a high level of success for all three. Is that something you guys are striving for, and you guys are seeing? How has that progression been? Because you guys have all been making big headline news, including, like you said, your youngest brother now making the Olympics.
Yeah, honestly, it been like that all our life. Honestly, since we've been playing sports, we just been doing it together, and we always just been competing with it together. So like,
you always excel at everything you guys did.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like we love basketball, football, but sticking with boxing, you know, we really going all the way with it. And I feel like 2024 is going to be the year where we show the world how dynamic we really are.
Yeah, Keyshawn, when we first met in Miami with Coach K, you were telling me about your brothers. You said D3, right? And you were like, even before I think it was your pro debut, actually.
Yeah.
You were talking about your brothers, so it's never changed. I love seeing that. I'm a family man, so I get it. What's next for you? I know you're not fighting tonight. We're watching your brother. Your brother just did big things. What's the next big thing in Keyshawn's life?
Honestly, man, just staying focused with my brothers, man. Going into 2024, Kelvin, of course, he's closing the show for us for 2023, and Keon is getting ready for the Olympics next year. And I'm working on, you know, becoming a world champion. So like, we really just sticking together as a family and just, you know, just keep trying to make this DB3 brand as big as possible.
All right, who won the fights in the house though growing up?
hey, that stays in the family.
The middle child, very diplomatic.
Family matters never come outside.
Got that right. Our tail of the tape for our co-main event of the evening. Big brother Kelvin, 27 years old, taller, will have the reach advantage over Mr. St. Pete, 36-year-old Clarence Booth, who is back here on ProBox TV. 10-0 against 21-8, and with the official introductions, Mark Lichtenfeld.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next bout is scheduled for 8 rounds in the welterweight division. Your judges, Brian Gary, William Glover, and Joe Ware. And your referee in charge is Gene Del Bianco. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black with orange. He weighed in at 143 pounds. His record, 21 wins, 8 losses with 13 wins by knockout. From St. Petersburg, Florida, please welcome Clarence, Mr. St. Pete And fighting out of the red corner, wearing the red with green. He weighed in at 142.6 pounds. He is undefeated with a record of 10 wins, no losses, with 6 wins by knockout. From Norfolk, Virginia, he is Kelvin Night Night Davis.
Thank you. Now, we discussed the rules in the dressing room. Okay, your trunks are okay here, your trunks are okay here. All right, unless you've got any questions, let's touch gloves. Best of luck, let's get to work.
Kelvin Davis, Clarence Booth. Mike Goldberg, Chris Algieri, Paulie Malignaggi, the silver medalist, Keyshawn Davis, joining us for our co-main event of the evening, scheduled for 8 in the welterweight division. Here we go. It's time to fight. Red and green for the southpaw, Kelvin Davis, Clarence Booth in the black and orange trunks. He said growing up, he used to be son of St. Pete, but now that he's older with his own children, he has moved on to become Mr. St. Pete. Kelvin 10-0. Keyshawn with us tonight. Keon headed to the Olympics.
See, right away, the first thing that stands out is Kelvin Davis' height advantage, you know. So Booth is going to have a tough proposition in front of him, getting inside of that long reach and height that Davis has.
Now spending time with Bomac, Brian McIntyre, Keyshawn. How much of an advantage is that for Kelvin, for you guys?
It's really an experience, you know. Bomac, Terrence Crawford, Red, Coach Saul. It's a big experience. You know, we was with them since Terrence fought Sean Porter.
Yep.
And ever since we've been with them, every single camp, you know, we've been getting closer and closer with the chemistry, and you know, we just been getting better within the team.
What did you say to your brother, or do you say anything to your brother before big fights, Keyshawn?
Yeah, man. Honestly, we all got our own little thing how we want to go into fights, but usually Kelvin, he's to himself, and he's really like a lot self-motivated. So Kelvin already know what he got going here to do tonight, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna get the job done in spectacular fashion.
And Keyshawn, it has been really nice to see Kelvin move to the forefront right here on ProBox TV, because with tons of respect and love, he's the older brother of Keyshawn, the silver medalist. You'd be the first to say no. He's his own man, and he's a heck of a fighter.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. I've been saying this ever since before we were signed, since we was amateurs, and now the world is getting to see it. And like I said, man, it's just closing out this year, Kelvin's going to show who he is, and going into 2024, DB3 is going to show who we are.
And I know you all love Sweet Pea from Norfolk, Virginia, Pernell Whitaker.
Yes, sir, man. You know, Sweet Pea, he's from our area.
Yep.
You know, Norfolk, Virginia.
Yep.
And shoot, we really doing it for him, man. We taking on his legacy with our legacy, and you know, we just trying to do it even bigger than he did.
4-division world champion. You guys will catch up, right?
Yes, sir. It's going to be a long process, but we can do it.
And Olympian, too. I mean, Pernell won a gold medal. You and your brother are Olympians.
Yeah.
Really impressive stuff.
Yeah, Pernell, he also was a Pan American game gold medalist.
Top amateur.
Keyshawn, how cool is it to hear Paulie say, you and your brother are Olympians? You're just getting used to it. It happened Saturday.
It's going to be even better when he have that medal, got gold medal around his neck at the Olympics.
Thank you for joining us. May Kelvin have success tonight. Have a wonderful holiday.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
That's why you got to bring your hands back to your hand. All right? Look it over here, bro. Listen, you catching him good with that jab. Every now and then, hit him with a quick 1-2, boom, boom, or double it up. You know what I'm saying?
We talked earlier about Bomac being involved with the Davis brothers, of course. Keyshawn just talked about it. But Chris, you said Clarence Booth, you've seen him before. We've seen him here. He can fight. He's trained now by Keith Stewart, so he's changed things up. Training in Colorado Springs, and he got a big shot in late in that round.
Yeah, I mean, this is his 30th pro fight. So this is a big step up for Kelvin. And you saw that in the first round with Booth. Very methodical, very much a veteran, kind of an old school throwback kind of guy in terms of the way he comes to work in the boxing ring. And he was setting some things up that had some fruition at the end of the round.
Yeah, Booth, you know, in terms of closing the gap, the tough proposition I was talking about is he's got to make sure he doesn't overcommit like right there. You know, because a lot of times he shoots in aggressively and ends up smothering his own work. It can be frustrating to deal with the height of Davis, so you got to almost be very, very deceptive in the way you close the gap and not overcommit to that closing the gap to the point of smothering yourself, because sometimes Booth has a habit of darting right in and ended up smothering himself.
And at times actually steps through in his stance. He's got to, like that, he's got to be careful not to get caught in the transition.
And including his fight with Michael Dutchover in our last chance tournament, Dutchover was 15-2. The combined record of the last 4 opponents for Clarence Booth, 65-2-1. That is being in there tough. This is his 4th straight unbeaten fighter, in the hands starting to be catching the chin. Big swing and a miss from Kelvin Davis.
Yeah, that's just speaking to the experience of Clarence Booth. Like Champ, you mentioned the height advantage. He's also fighting a southpaw. He doesn't look deterred. He knows what he's trying to do. He's off balance at certain times, but he's got an idea. He's got a game plan.
Yeah, and also another thing, he's fighting a prospect, so he's trying to make it as uncomfortable as possible. He's being physical on the inside. Nice jab there by Davis. That's really the key to Davis, is using that jab consistently and then controlling that distance.
I like the body work from Davis too. He's been very consistent. That's been his most consistent offense so far. He's been touching that rib cage. There it is again.
Yeah, and he's got. That's how you're going to sort of sap the energy of Booth, because Booth is high energy when he gets inside.
Booth is an aggressive guy. I've actually sparred with him many times, and he's a physical guy. He switches stances pretty well. He can make it rough on the inside. He can make that ring very uncomfortable if he feels like it.
Been in there tough under the tutelage of Keith Stewart. Of course, has worked with Winky Wright, Jeff Lacey, and many others. Final minute of round 2. Our co-main event is scheduled for 8.
Yeah, that position right there where Booth gets over his front feet. It's a dangerous proposition when you got a guy with that kind of height and reach like Davis does. Once he starts pulling that trigger, could spell trouble for Booth.
Always representing his hometown of St. Petersburg, Florida. Living in Colorado Springs now, Kelvin Davis. Always representing Norfolk, Virginia, but trained for this one in Vegas.
Booth needs to be careful not to just follow the taller man around. He's not cutting off the ring.
You can see we are getting set for the start of round number 3. Clarence Booth back on April 1st. Fought in Milwaukee, Wisconsin on a Jorge Masvidal show, which, oh, by the way, just happened to be headlined by Roy Jones Jr. and Anthony Showtime Pettis.
That was over in Milwaukee.
Yep. Where would it be if you're Showtime Pettis, right?
Of course.
And Superman, of course, always involved with Mohamed the Problem Mimoune, the Hall of Famer.
You see Booth, he doesn't have an in-between. He's sort of like the guy we saw fight Valle, where he doesn't really have an in-between of how to set up the power. He's either going at 0 or he's going at 100 throwing those hard shots. And with a guy like Davis, who's defensively very responsible, you kind of want to have that in-between. You like to see him set some traps, drop some feints, and also, like you said, Champ, at the end of the last round, cutting off the ring as well, because if you're doing all that, you're going to allow Davis in between to sort of pick his little spots. See us on the inside, Booth trying to be very physical, very intense.
And you can see Booth, he's exploding, but he's doing it just a little short. He's not getting himself into position to explode and be on and make contact.
That's because he's trying to walk in the front door, and he's not being deceptive enough. And as the level of opposition rises, you're going to have to make that entrance a little bit more deceptive. You can be stubborn as you want, but the better fighters will outsmart you. They don't have to out-tough you.
And he has been on the losing end of his last 4 fights, 3 of which were against unbeatens, much like Kelvin Davis at 10-0 tonight. Round 3, that switch stance utilized by Booth, takes a body shot or 2 from Davis, changing levels nicely.
Real nice body work.
And the nose of Booth, a little bit of blood on the inside of the nostrils there. You can see a jab, a right-hand jab of Davis having some effect.
Most recent fight for Kelvin Davis, he was on the same card as Keyshawn, who we just visited with, headlined by Jenel.
Nice jab a few moments ago from Kelvin as well. Splits the guard of the orthodox Booth, and there's Booth just following Davis around the ring.
Yeah, and it's not going to make Davis uncomfortable because he's always finding the escape route to where he can reset. And you're also doing Davis a favor by coming to him because he doesn't have to search for you with the pot shots he likes to throw. Again, Booth trying to rise the intensity, but nothing in between to set it up or make it deceptive. So Davis is able to escape.
I was going to say, he's also not jabbing. Even when you're fighting a taller man with a good jab, and even if it's a southpaw, you got to at least jab your way in, like you said, to make yourself deceptive.
Well, you know, Champ, like I always say, and Goldie likes to make fun of me, you can jab with a jabber, you can't hook with a hooker.
And then
I don't make fun of you. I just think it sounds funny.
No, but you know what? It's an old boxing adage. I didn't make it up, to tell you the truth. It's an old boxing adage that I've been hearing all my life as well. You see Booth again trying to get that intensity, but again, he just comes up short with those shots, and Davis stays comfortable.
Chris, I'd never make fun of Paulie. He can beat me up.
I guess I misspoke with the making fun of him.
Always great to be with my powerful partners. The former two-time world champion, the Magic Man, Paulie Najee, former world champion, Chris Algieri. Keyshawn talked about the relationship with Bomac and Terrence Crawford. Well, Clarence Booth has spent a lot of time working with Clearwater, Florida's Keith Thurman. So he has been in there with some great sparring partners as well, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, St. Pete is a strong background of boxers and fighters, and you know, if your name is Mr. St. Pete, you got to represent.
Absolutely, from the son of St. Pete to Mr. St. Pete. Thurman, the former unified welterweight world champion. Bought the likes of Manny Pacquiao, who Chris knows well, Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, Louis Collazo. Round number 4. Booth comes out southpaw, black and orange trunks. Kelvin Davis, the natural southpaw, in the red and green.
Booth is just, like you said, Champ, that saying, you can jab with a jab or don't hook with a hooker, but everyone seems to be shut off their jab when a guy's jabbing, and they love to hook when guys are hooking. And Clarence Booth has completely shut off his jab.
He's trying to hook, though.
Yeah, he's trying to hook.
But again, it's like I said before, too, he's from 0 or 100. He doesn't have that in between. You see, he's either throwing something hard or he's not throwing at all. Not even a jab.
And literally just walking down, one foot in front of the other, walking Davis down, eating jabs.
You can kind of see why Thurman use him as a sparring partner and things like that. Guys like this make a great sparring partner because they're very tough, they're durable, they're always trying. And then, you know, they give you the work, but they're not quite good enough to get over the hump.
Just trying to get Kelvin reaching, maybe. With an opportunity to close the distance, but that time he ate the lead left.
You know what will be a fun fight? Booth against Duarte, the guy that just fought Ryan Garcia.
Yeah.
Neither of them jab, but they're both looking to throw big shots. They can find each other and let it marinate center ring.
Well, I'll tell you what, in that last chance,
put him in a 12-foot ring.
That fight against Dutch over the West Texas Warrior, Paulie, was outstanding in our last chance tournament.
Yeah, because if somebody cooperates with Booth, make it happen. None of those landed. Some of them little body shots landed, but nothing landed to the head.
But he is closing the distance. He is putting a lot of pressure on Davis.
And it's putting a little bit of mental pressure on Davis, but again, he'd like to see him set something up. He's put himself in position. If he can set something up, you could see that he would land it.
You know, for me, I have to think that Booth is thinking, all right, this is this kid's 11th pro fight. We got 8 rounds. Let me put pressure on him. I'll break him.
Oh, if he would just cut off the ring, though, Champ.
If he would just cut off the ring.
4th fight of 2023 for Kelvin Davis. He fought just about 2 months ago to the day. He fought on October 14th in Texas, and Wednesday, December 13th, back on ProBox TV. 30 seconds left in round 4. Booth trying to close in somehow.
See, he is getting a little closer, Booth. He's actually had a few opportunities this round.
Conditioning, never an issue with Booth, but also on a higher level, no pun intended, training in Colorado Springs.
The Pro St. Pete crowd is getting loud on the side.
That got Davis. That got Davis punching at Booth and then goes back to the corner. You know what? The St. Pete crowd got him going.
Yes, indeed.
Impossible for him. That's all right, though. Listen. Coach Red said, once you make that turn and you get in range, you got to be able to go. I keep saying off beat, okay?
Bomac has also been training out Batyrzhan Jukembayev set to fight in our main event coming up next. And we talked about Keith Stewart, two-time light middleweight world champion, southpaw Winky Wright. The Hall of Famer, one of Keith's top boxers, Jeff Lacey from St. Petersburg. IBF super middleweight title, IBO super middleweight title. Round 5, scheduled for 8.
You know what? The pro St. Pete crowd got Kelvin Davis pissed off last round. He started sitting in the middle more.
And he started looking at people, probably from St. Pete, and then throwing.
If they piss him off more, maybe Booth will get what he wants. He'll get Davis and stop and fight him the way he wants to fight him.
I don't know. Davis landed some hard shots when he did sit down. But Booth is known as a very durable guy.
For sure.
It's not for lack of trying from Booth, that's for sure. It's not a matter of, it's not always a matter of will. Sometimes it's just a matter of skill.
Booth stopped just twice in his 8 losses, both of them to Russian fighters 6 years ago.
Nice.
Jim Delbianco's got his hands full here.
You know, I mentioned how Booth can make things rough if he feels like it. Seems like he has woken up now.
He doesn't want to listen. You're losing a point. He's going to lose a point. Yeah. Take it away a point. Take it away a point. 1 point. Neutral.
Clarence Booth. Points from
1 point off. 1 point off. Take another point off.
I think my opponent lost one too, so who cares?
It's a tie. It's a tie.
I don't know.
Come on, let's fight.
I get what Delbianco's trying to do.
Trying to put them both on warning, right?
And I get Booth too. He was trying to break out of the hold. He wants to work in there.
He's also getting frustrated because he's been having trouble getting on the inside. So when he's there, he does want to work.
And you know what? He doesn't help his cause too. He shoots in, so sometimes he smothers himself, and he allows for Davis to kind of get him into that clinch.
Southpaw, midway point of round number 5. Booth 21-8. Kelvin Davis a perfect 10-0. Fast hands from Mr. St. Pete.
And he is closing that distance, putting a lot of pressure, making it physical, making, like you said, that mental pressure on Davis as well.
Jim, also, you made a good point about, you know, he knows he's got a prospect in front of him. He knows he's got 8 rounds. Try to keep pressing him. And now it's starting to, that pressure is starting to get results this round. Davis is looking more and more uncomfortable, and he's visibly holding now. I mean, if Delbianco could even give Davis a warning here.
And this pro St. Petersburg crowd at our ProBox World Headquarters is definitely energizing Clarence Booth.
Booth does a good job of not letting himself get tied up in there. He steps around, he steps under, he slides his head out, making it rough on the inside.
Even Delbianco took a spill on that break before. Everybody went down.
Yeah, everybody lost a point in there.
Last year we had a referee get punched. This year we had a takedown. 10 seconds.
Again, if Booth could just sidestep and cut off the ring, he would be putting so much more pressure on him.
It ain't gonna happen, Jim.
No, I know.
It ain't gonna happen.
Good finish.
You get the follow you, start using your face more and coming over to the top, especially if he turns orthodox, or if he turns the same way you would, southpaw, okay? Because he's carrying that left hand.
First fight of the night, Dominic Valle against the Demolition Man from the Philippines. The Demolition Man was the one with MMA experience, but he'll take down here.
Yeah, one good fall deserves another. You see Booth trying to get out of the hold. You see Davis is trying to hold, so Booth gets mad. He gets him in a headlock. Little what do they call that in MMA?
The little rear naked choke. Yeah,
rear naked choke. No. When you punch it on the ground, you fight on the ground.
Oh, ground and pound.
Ground and pound. Little ground and pound. Even Del Bianco got in there.
Mark Coleman.
Little dirty boxing to a ground and pound.
Mark Coleman, the godfather of ground and pound.
Both men lost a point in that round. The referee got a knockdown scored against him. So
the referee was so mad for that knockdown, he took a point from both guys.
So it's a 10-9 and the referee scoring too, Chris?
Exactly.
Round 6, our co-main event, scheduled for 8. Kelvin Davis with his hands full against Clarence Booth. Always scrappy, always highly competitive. But you can see, even though the results haven't been coming his way, Chris, this higher level of opponent that Clarence has been fighting has brought his level higher.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you see the durability, you see the conditioning. I mean, he's a hard-nosed guy, and he's bringing it here. And these are kind of fights that young prospects need as they come up.
And Keith Stewart said conditioning was a factor in his setbacks, but it was more of Clarence not trusting his cardio as opposed to not being in condition.
Well, that body work, that'll take the conditioning right away from you.
Right on cue by Night Night.
You see, Booth, no deceptiveness there, and that's the problem. Although Davis visibly holding more and more. Del Bianco could be getting warnings to Davis for holding.
Yeah, every time they get close.
He's not. He just kind of just tells him don't hold, but there's no warnings on the part of Del Bianco for Davis either.
Second career 8-rounder for Kelvin Davis. His last fight here on ProBox TV was a 6-rounder in which he scored a 4th-round finish.
Clarence just walking in the front door. Looking pretty comfortable, though. Just hasn't been able to put his leather on Kelvin all that much.
Keith Stewart said of Clarence Booth, he has just about everything. He's just a late bloomer. Clarence said, Kelvin will remember who I am, win, lose, or draw.
One thing he doesn't have is cutting off the ring, though.
Right.
And that's one thing he really could use tonight.
This could really be a whole different fight.
Yeah. And it would have definitely forced Davis to hold so much more that he may have lost the point. Nice shot there by Booth.
Final 30 seconds of the 6th.
And then, like you said, Champ, he smothers himself when he does get close enough.
The optics, though, are starting to get where Davis is looking like he's running more and more and more and punching less and less and less. He had a good beginning of this round, but
he hasn't done much since.
Booth is making a case for himself in here.
Ooh, that was a push down and a hard shot to the body from Booth.
We got ourselves a fight. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Getting set for the start of round number 7.
Eight combinations with him when you get to him. You got this nigga. This nigga running. Nigga don't want to fight. Keep roughing him up.
They're telling Booth putting the numbers up, you know, it's a bunch of punches in the combination when you get to him, but you got to be careful not to smother himself.
Round number 7, our co-main event of the evening. 10-0 Kelvin Davis in the red and green, black and orange. For 21-8, Mr. St. Pete, Clarence Booth.
And you see right there who the arm is being held of Booth, so Booth is the one trying to work.
Yes.
And there's no warning from Del Bianco to Davis.
Yeah, if one arm is held and you're still punching with the other hand, the ref should be doing something.
And you guys are right when you talk about optics and aggressiveness, forward pressure.
There's a jab from Booth.
If anybody's getting the beneficiary of the refereeing, it's actually been the road fighter.
Yes, absolutely.
Booth is the home fighter, but he's not getting any favors from the referee, Del Bianco.
Gene's putting some miles on. He's getting his steps in tonight.
Gene's still mad that he went down a couple rounds ago. He's looking to fight. He's looking to get into a fight with one of these guys himself.
I guarantee you, we'll be off the air for 12 seconds. He'll come talk to us about it. He is a good man. Good straight left from Kelvin Davis.
See, Davis does have some good eye-catching shots in between here, and if he's able to avoid those rushes from Booth, he can control these rounds easily.
Booth getting very low and compact. Midway point of the 7th.
But sometimes the holding of Davis is very, very obvious. See, Booth is trying to break out of it.
Big aggressive swings from Booth. Hitting mostly air, though, but the mental pressure.
And he's talking to Davis, too, champ.
Making it tough in there, just like his corner said. Make it rough.
And Clarence Booth is what you call a survivor, plain and simple.
He's not surviving here, he's trying to win.
Absolutely, but in life, wrong place, wrong time. Shot 3 times many, many years ago. Horrible one, went to his elbow, in which the doctor said he should change his career. But Mr. St. Pete said, no, that's not in the business, that's not on the books, and he continues to box professionally. A great story of survival and perseverance.
Yeah, you can see the scar on that right elbow.
Yep. Took one in the leg.
And he's being held again. He's the one punching. I don't know why Del Bianco's breaking there. He's not. Booth is not the one.
Booth is yelling at the ref saying.
Of course, he's right. He's the one being held. He's the one being held. He's allowed to punch there. Especially that not only is they breaking, but there's not even a warning for Davis.
Kelvin did not do much this round.
No, not at all.
Because you getting on it. That's a sign that you hurting him, baby. You hurting him. That's a sign you hurting him. That's a sign you hurting him. You're doing good, baby. Now you got to finish this round strong. I don't care if you got to grab him and rough him and touch him.
8th and final round. Gritty fight, ebbs and flows. Judges gonna have their hands full.
I'll tell you what, this is gonna be an important round in this fight, I'm telling you. Because Booth has been coming on.
And Kelvin's been doing less and less.
Clarence Booth looking for his first win in over 2 years. 3 minutes remain. And immediately the aggressor once again is Clarence Booth.
But no cutting off the ring. He just followed him all over the ring.
Full circle, 360 degrees around the ring. Met him in his corner, came all the way back to his corner.
And Booth still complaining that Davis is holding. And Booth is going to have some things to complain about when this fight's over, but he also is going to have to look at himself that, he also contributed to making his life more difficult by not cutting off the ring.
But also Davis is making his life more difficult by not throwing punches when these big swinging misses and off-balance shots from Booth are come flying at him.
Yeah, Davis commits fully to defense a lot of times to the point where he's just moving and not punching.
If he was taking half step backs and firing like that,
right on,
he could have made this a very easy night.
Yep. And that's the way he started the fight, Paulie, was using his length. And Chris, you pointed it out. Good jab, good touch. But then all of a sudden, Clarence said, all right, we're going to rough it up a little bit here on your boxing channel, ProBox TV.
Oh, good right hand. Good right hand from Booth, right on the chin.
Might be the best shot he landed all night, right?
And a cut over the eye, it looks like, of Kelvin Davis. Right over the...
Yeah, there's some headbutts too in there because Booth is flying in there. But look, full commitment to holding for Davis. Finally a warning for Davis, but late now.
The St. Pete contingent is booing every time these guys come together now.
Midway point of the 8th and final round.
Like you said, Jim, no counters there from Davis. I mean, Booth swinging with his hands low, just big shots, and Davis has him missing, but not firing back. So
you talk about the optics.
Yeah, you're creating the bad optics, but you're also not creating any doubt in this pressure of Booth, who's just following you around 360 degrees.
Good shots there from Davis.
From Davis.
But why does that happen? Because he wasn't cutting off the ring. Yep.
Clarence Booth is in full stalking mode here in the 8th and final round, and that would be stalking, not stocking, as we get towards Christmas.
He's running out of precious time.
Yep.
Mouthpiece of Davis just came out.
Going to be a sprint to the finish.
Maybe literally running.
Yep. It's a good point.
It's just moving and holding for Davis there. I mean, he moves, and then when he can't move anymore, he just kind of holds. He'll throw a shot in between here and there. I don't know if he realizes this round could be very, very important. I think it is.
Yeah, he's in full retreat.
And has been for the last couple of rounds for the most part. It's going to be in the hands of the judges.
Yeah, you're right. You know, judges like guys who are aggressive, guys who push the pace.
And the run moving forward was Clarence Booth. They go the distance.
I think Davis thinks it's a foregone conclusion that he won, but I don't know, man. This is close. I can even see it being a draw. No surprise that the home contingent is going to cheer for Booth, but also Booth was the one making the fight, and even in a neutral perspective, even in a neutral crowd, he would probably be the one getting the cheers.
Early on, Kelvin Davis utilized his length.
Yeah, started out very, very sharp from the outside, using that height, that reach. Yeah. Really, really good body work early on.
He held his ground too, but the more the fight went, the more he was backing up and moving all over the place. Early on, he kind of held his ground, moved around a little bit, but shot those shots, held his ground. But as the fight wore on, man, he started really, really getting on that bike, and Booth started growing in confidence and frustration because he wasn't cutting off the ring, and Del Bianco wasn't really controlling the holding. That was at the end of one of the rounds here. We thought maybe Davis was going to start sitting down more on offense as he was talking back to the contingent for Booth. But the next round, he went right back to over-moving, doing some holding. Everybody goes down here, and this was a...
full takedown.
For everybody.
Everybody's down.
And you see, it's interesting because, the Booth was having a hard time landing cleanly, but at a certain point, that was a good shot there from Booth.
That was the best shot that he landed all night.
But there was less and less punching back from Davis, and again, the optics didn't look good in the second half of the fight for him.
Judges have rendered their decision. Will it be Booth or Davis? Here is Mark Lichtenfeld.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 8 rough and tumble rounds, we go to the scorecards. Brian Gary scores the bout 78-72. William Glover and Joe Ware both see it 79-71 for your winner by unanimous decision, Kelvin Night Davis.
Clarence Booth.
Are those weed gummies legal in Florida? Maybe these judges had a few of them before the fight. Oh, yeah, I don't know, man. Whatever they were on, I'm curious. That's wild.
Rock Hill will never go away for Paulie Malignaggi. Clarence Booth put on a show, though. Coming up next, it is our main event of the evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have a Lexus with the license plate 928OXI, the car has to be moved immediately. License plate 928OXI. Please move your car immediately or it will be towed.
Are we on
So, yep, and then afterwards on camera or just moving on. Okay, as soon as I get to the lift, I'm gonna run the back. Ready to tailor the tape. Algeria's got tailored the tape. Our main event still to come. A 10-round super lightweight matchup for the WBA Continental North America Super Lightweight belt. Saturday, Devin Haney was beyond spectacular, but we also had a massive upset. And it was amongst our top stories as the two-time Olympic gold medalist, a 15-1 favorite, was defeated by Rafael Espinoza. This is Top Stories on ProBox TV.
And one thing about Mexican fighters, let sleeping dogs lie, bro. Do not start hitting them with too many power shots. I told these guys off fair. When I fought Mexican
Don't piss them off.
When I fought Mexican fighters, I used to try to avoid landing too many power shots. I used to try to lull them to sleep with jabs, and before they knew they were even in a fight, sometimes they lost all 10 rounds and the fight was over. But God forbid you start hitting them with too many power shots, man, you wake up that pit bull, and that's it. Now you're in a fight for the rest of the night, and it's your ass. So,
yeah.
Let sleeping dogs lie. Rabesi Ramirez did not let sleeping dogs lie. He started cracking this guy with left hands. He said, this guy said, yeah, all right, it's going to be like that tonight? Let's do it. And that was it. That was it. So that's the lesson of the night as well. Don't mess with those Mexican fighters.
Boxing at 22, you could box in a 16.
Yep.
I fought Ruslan Pavanica in a 16-foot ring, and I boxed his shoes off that night. If you can box in a 22, you can box in a 16. I'm behind you on that one.
I boxed Lamont Peterson in a 16x16, and that was a hell of a fight.
His ass.
So let's go. 16x16 promoters. Should be the ring for every fight. And we're going to get great fights in boxing. Trust me.
I fought Cotto in a 16x16. It wasn't fun. It wasn't fun. but to your point, Chris, he fought Mayweather in a 20x20, and he still was cutting off the ring and made the fight at close range. So
listen, if you can
guys,
box in
if
22,
you can do what your style will happen, whether it's a big ring or a small ring.
And now the tail of the tape for the main event tonight. You see the age is there, 36 years old for Mohamed Mimoune. I mentioned that at the top of the show. Both men about the same height, but the reach advantage, 6-inch reach advantage for Mohamed Mimoune.
That's the thing that stands out the most, man. And that's the thing that will throw people off about Mimoune, man. That weird reach, plus he's a southpaw.
Yeah, he's only 5'9.5", but he has a 73-inch reach. That's rare, and he uses it well. He's a good boxer.
Yeah, good matchup here. We're going to go over to Mark Lichtenfeld for our official introductions to the main event now.
That was magical.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your ProBox TV main event of the evening. 10 rounds for the WBA Continental North America Super Lightweight belt. Your judges for this contest, Joanne Richard, Brian Gary, and William Glover. And your referee in charge is Chris Young. Introducing you first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the white with pink. He weighed in at 139.8 pounds with a record of 23 wins, 5 losses with 4 wins by knockout. From Toulouse, Haute-Garonne, France, please welcome Mohamed the Problem Mimoune. And fighting out of the red corner, wearing the red with black, he weighed in at 140 pounds even. His record, 21 wins, just 1 loss with 16 wins by knockout. From Almaty, Kazakhstan, the defending WBA Continental North America Super Lightweight Champion, Batyrzhan Jukembayev.
scheduled for 10. WBA Continental North America Super Lightweight belt goes to the winner. Right now it is owned by Jukembayev.
Fight hard, fight clean, touch him up.
21-1 against 23-5. Mohamed Mimoune coming off a spectacular performance back in July here on ProBox TV.
Red corner, you ready? Blue corner, you ready? Bail!
Here we go. It's time to fight. Southpaw against southpaw. White and pink trunks for Mohamed Mimoune. Batyrzhan Jukembayev in the red and black trunks.
The rare southpaw-southpaw matchup.
Yeah, a lot of times it throws off even the southpaw because they're not used to seeing each other either, you know?
Exactly.
Omak in the corner of Jukembayev. Mehdi Oumbia, his trainer in France, and of course, the Superman, the Hall of Famer Roy Jones Jr. in the corner of Mohamed Mimoune.
These two guys, very, very, very capable guys, veterans. Been in with some of the best fighters in the world, have gotten even some solid wins. But it goes to show you how unforgiving this business is. If you're just on the cusp, but you don't get over that hump, you're still not making that impact in your life and in your career. So this is a fight that is very, very important for both guys.
Absolutely, and especially in this division, I'd mentioned from the top, a red-hot 140-pound division. You know, you got guys that are this good who are outside of that top echelon, like you said, champ.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of opportunities. You can enter that circle. You know, you can enter that room. I like to call it that room. When they let you in the room, especially at 140 pounds, there's a lot of opportunity there.
Yeah, it's a VIP room, though.
It is indeed.
Good body shot there by Jukembayev again.
And another one, you can hear him.
Shaking his head.
Mimoune and Dante trying to come forward.
Yeah, you could definitely see the power difference between the two. Mimoune, definitely not a power puncher, but he does have that long reach.
23 wins, 4 finishes for Mohamed Mimoune. 21 wins, 16 finishes for Batyrzhan Jukembayev.
Good jab there from Mimoune as Jukembayev was coming in. Little step back, long jab. Splits the guard of the southpaw.
See, for me, Mimoune's not adjusting his jab. He's still kind of using that lead hand like he's fighting a right-hander, where he's kind of just probing with it. I like to see him snap it out a little bit, sort of like Jukembayev is doing.
Yeah, Jukembayev is pounding that jab home, head and body.
And that's a habit from fighting the right-handers. A lot of times southpaws will sort of start to parry and fence with that lead hand. Usually you see the right-handers with the left jab having it really snappy against each other, but Jukembayev using that snappy right-handed jab there against the southpaw Mimoune. There it is again.
Second fight of this calendar year, both here on ProBox TV for Jukembayev. Born and raised in Kazakhstan, now calls Montreal, Quebec, Canada home.
A little bit of you go, I go, right, Paulie? These guys are going back and forth, going tit for tat. Not a lot of punching in between.
10 seconds, this is for the bell, 10 seconds.
Still feeling each other out, man. They haven't opened up. Let's see.
Yeah, we got 10 rounds here, so.
And Jukembayev tried to counter there. He came up just short with the left hand.
Last Wednesday night that we bring you some great fights here on your boxing channel, ProBox TV for the year 2023.
Les mains bien placées, fais-le tourner dans le vent. Fais-le tourner du bon côté. Ok, Mohamed, et après.
Getting set for the start of round number 2. White and pink for the problem, Mohamed Mimoune, 777. Batyrzhan Jukembayev is in the red and black. Over the top comes the problem. Good body shot. We know one thing, Mimoune is tough. Had his jaw broken in round number 1 against Cesar Francis and still finished the fight. Nice left hand.
It was a very close fight. A great performance from Mimoune that night against a very strong Cesar Francis.
So speed snap advantages with Jukembayev, but you can see what Mimoune tries to do. He tries to mentally pressure you by holding his ground there a lot of times. He's starting to get a little more active with the lead hand.
You gotta throw it, you can't post it.
Nice feint there from Jukembayev, changed levels. But Mimoune didn't bite. Hands stayed where they were.
Camp was in France at elevation for Mimoune.
I think you notice about Mimoune with the left hand a lot of times. He throws it wide, never really straightens it out. And with that reach that he has, you could, if you would mix it up, both the wide and straight. You see, he throws it wide again there. If you would throw it straight at times, it could give him a little bit of variation with the back power hand.
Jukembayev was in Las Vegas with Kelvin Davis, training at the UFC gym, led by Brian McIntyre, as both men looking for victories tonight. Davis in the co-main got his arm raised, and Jukembayev looking to defend his belt for the first time.
Jukembayev doing a good job of closing that distance, getting inside the longer reach of Mimoune here.
Nice shot to the body by Mohamed Mimoune.
Yeah, Mimoune's been investing to the body a little bit more this round. Maybe trying to take some of the snap off of the shots of Jukembayev.
That's smart. If you're not a puncher, you're not a knockout guy, it's good to invest in the body, especially early on.
That snappy jab of Jukembayev, it's been eye-catching.
Nice adjustment from Jukembayev from his last fight. His last fight, he was a pure counterpuncher, really. Fighting an awkward guy for sure, but here he's coming forward, letting go with combinations.
Yeah, Mimoune catching on the gloves, but he's not punching back. One thing about catching on the gloves, eventually you're going to have to catch and shoot there to sort of cause doubt in the intensity of the attack coming from your opponent.
But also, I mean, Jukembayev, he looks like he's punching hard. He's a good knuckle puncher. He keeps his punches very short. You don't want to take those on the arms all night long.
And you want to kill the enthusiasm of Jukembayev too by punching back in between.
Like that, good shot there. Double right hook, excuse me, from Mimoune, body head.
10 seconds, let's put a bell, 10 seconds.
Nice.
Good shot again, good finish in this round for Mohamed Mimoune.
You gotta start using your double jab, okay, to get to him. All right, he's keeping everything tight. Deep breath. Keep going up and down with the jab, up and down, even the shoulders, okay? Once you get there, keep pounding on them shoulders, okay? You might say they ain't nothing, but they'll build up. Deep breath. You gotta keep touching him though, okay? What you got, coach?
Once he's there, he's double when he can't see you, you start raking and drop your left hand, raking and drop the right hand.
Stick his out.
Bomac with a busy night tonight.
Yes, indeed. Looking to go 2-0 with his two men.
We got a water bottle spill in the corner.
Oh, man.
Hey, boss. Hey, there. Give me a towel. Give me a towel.
I just have these flashbacks of Joe back in the ice bucket day. Oh, he was vocal. But Bobby and Chris, Joe Rogan, my partner at the UFC, always seems to be pretty vocal. Bomac training his two fighters at the UFC gym in Las Vegas to prepare for this one tonight. Batyrzhan Jukembayev just defeated one time in his professional career, and Paulie, that was against a pretty darn good fighter.
Oh yeah, against the current IBF super lightweight champion, Subriel Matias.
And another point to that fight, Batyr did better than Ergoshev did against Matias. So you got to keep that in mind too. Like Champ, you said in the beginning, in hindsight, it wasn't such a bad. Every loss is bad, but it wasn't as bad as it may have seemed. Ergoshev got destroyed by Matias. Batyr was in that fight.
Yeah, Batyr was trying to push back Matias a lot.
He hurt Matias in that fight.
Physically pushing him back, taking the approach that a puncher goes backwards. Maybe he's not as big a puncher, but eventually kind of got worn out. Tactical fight here. They're staying right in front of each other. Boxing right from where they're at. Not a lot of movement here. And again, you see Mimoune, he throws that, likes to throw that left hand wide. He'll rarely throw it straight. And I think if you would just vary it with throwing it down the middle at times, it would make it a bit more difficult to block or time or see coming. Because a lot of the wide shots, sometimes they land, but a lot of times Jukembayev is catching it on the glove.
And there are opportunities for Mimoune to land that straight left-hander, especially if he keeps it short.
Yeah, and also the fact that Jukembayev hasn't seen it straight, I mean, it would throw him off.
Ooh, good job there from Jukembayev. That nice punch to the shoulder. When you got the guys, I mentioned that earlier, you don't want to get hit with those shots all night long, even on the arms.
Yeah, and Bomac said, you know, he said that, you know, in the corner, he said Mimoune might be shaking his head no, but eventually those shots do start to add up. Not to mention they still look good for the judges. You know, in a fight where not a lot is landing clean. You know, the guy getting off first, the guy, again, with the optics, who has the sort of the more eye-catching style, snappier shots, he's going to probably get the rounds.
Yeah, I like what Jukembayev is doing here. He's changing things up. He's targeting the shoulder, the arm, the elbow. He's punching at that lead hand. Ooh, good shot there from Mimoune.
Yeah, again, attempted counter from Jukembayev came up just short.
Mimoune had that check hook a moment ago, then over the top with the left. Main event scheduled for 10 rounds. Pressure again from Jukembayev.
There's opportunities for Mimoune to punch in between there because Jukembayev does load up when he lands on those arms. You can punch in between there and catch and shoot.
See those arm punches? Those are adding up already.
10 seconds.
And to note that fight, his lone loss, Jukembayev was coming off a 16-month layoff as well.
You don't want to have him come off that layoff fighting some Subriel Matias.
You got that right.
Ring card girl Amber Fields.
Yes.
Doing a little show for the crowd. It's a fan favorite here.
Always entertaining here at ProBox TV. And always great when Superman is in the house. Hoping that Mohamed truly becomes the problem tonight for Batyrzhan Jukembayev. Our main event continues, round number 4. Mike Goldberg with my powerful partners, the former 2-time world champion, the Magic Man, Najee, former world champion, Chris Algieri. What a year it has been. Love working with you two guys, and man, do we get some great fights.
Yeah, been a fantastic year, and going to be even bigger next year.
You got that right. Big plans, so don't go anywhere, boxing fans.
Been a hectic schedule, but I'm still sad to see the year end. Our last show.
Yep. Yeah, but a lot to be excited about next year, guys. The schedule's already starting to fill up for next year. We'll have some good fights on the horizon.
And the landscape of boxing changing drastically from a coverage perspective. Here on ProBox TV, you know where to find us. We are here 24/7, 365. Quick hands from Jukembayev, answered by Mimoune.
Mimoune's gonna have to start getting his hands off a little bit more. I think sometimes he has a false sense of security because he's got his hands up and not a lot gets through cleanly. And maybe he's safe from losing the round, but he's just not getting off enough. And he's really not landing enough to really take back the round either.
Oh!
Catch and shoot, and he's hurt. Catch and shoot, nice hook there from Jukembayev.
Continues to be aggressive here.
And that is the wide shot of Mimoune with the left hand. Eventually it cost him as Jukembayev caught it and shot with his right hook. Very, very sharp, sneaky shot.
Yeah, we were saying how earlier they're going, I go, you go. Nobody was punching in the middle, but Jukembayev punches in the middle and wobbles Mimoune here in round 4.
And that's why you've got to start throwing that backhand straight once in a while so you prevent your opponent from timing it like that. If Jukembayev saw enough wide left hands and say, all right, I can catch and shoot here on this guy because he's going to throw it wide every time.
Jukembayev being very smart here, picking his punches excellently, keeping the damage coming. Oh, tried it again there.
Jukembayev looking to defend his WBA Continental North America Super Lightweight belt for the first time here tonight. 3 of his last 4 wins have been by KO or TKO.
Nice left hand there by Mimoune. Handled it like a veteran, did Mimoune. You know, he was hurt, but he stayed calm.
Chopping left hand there from Jukembayev. Partially blocked, but there was some flack on that shot.
And that's not really how you catch a guy like Mimoune clean, because he's going to cover up so well, and he's got these long arms, almost like Winky Wright, where when he gives you that high guard, it's hard to get through, but you punch in between him, you can catch him cleanly. Jukembayev timed that right hook very, very well earlier this round.
Also, but Jukembayev, he's leading, so he's not getting overworked. He's able to rest when he wants to rest, fire when he wants to fire. Very controlled pace.
Again, wide left hand misses from Mimoune.
Over the top.
Nice combination from Mimoune.
Swing and a miss into the round.
Good round. Okay, I need another round like that. Hey, you need to start hitting those angles after you punch it and keeping your hands high. You're giving him opportunity to come back after you get your shots off. Okay? Hit your angles. Over there, Kelvin.
We're going to see a nice catch and shoot here from Jukembayev right over the top. And Mimoune, like you said, champ, looping punch, but kept his hands down, came up tall. Jukembayev came right over the top. Not the hardest punch in the world, but the ones you don't see hurt you the most.
That timing shot.
Our main event continues. Final bout of 2023 here on ProBox TV. Round number 5. Third fight in the United States for Jukembayev. He had the fight in California. His lone setback, his other 2 fights here in the U.S. have been right here on ProBox TV. Mimoune trying to get something going here in round 5.
Yeah, when he targets the body, he does well, but he's got to be consistent. He's got to follow it up with an attack or with a combination. See, Jukembayev tried to use that catch and shoot again, but Mimoune got underneath it there. It's going to have to pick up the consistency here. Jukembayev doesn't always get through with his attack as Mimoune's guard is high, but he's consistent with his punching. He's consistent with his rhythm.
Yeah, you made that great point earlier, champ, about Mimoune's jab. Seems like he's jabbing like a normal orthodox fighter, just kind of putting it out there, not really sticking it, where Jukembayev is pounding that thing home, and it's setting up his other power shots.
Mimoune with a nice answer there with the left.
Yeah, but always wide. Remember, Mimoune never throws a straight left hand. And I think if he would have had that in his style, I think it would make him a lot more deceptive because he's a good fighter.
Wasn't that the shot that hurt Francis? Was it a straight?
Wide. No,
it was a wide one?
Yeah.
It was a wide one?
Yeah, I tell you, man, I don't know if I've ever seen him throw a straight left hand. Might not see it tonight either.
No, and Jukembayev throws everything short. Short, tight, compact.
For short and straight, you just look in the red corner, right, Chris?
Yeah, for real, everything. The jab is short and hard. The left hand is hard. The right hook, everything is short.
You want to look at somebody, if you're a young boxer, you want to see somebody pretty brilliant at the basics. You don't have to look too far tonight. Batyrzhan Jukembayev, 21-1. First 2 professional fights were no contest. 16 career knockouts. There's the jab from Mohamed Mimoune.
When he shows it, it does well, and I think it even surprises Jukembayev because he's not been as consistent. Mimoune, especially with a reach like he has, could show a lot more snappy jabs. I think it could bother Jukembayev.
Mimoune awarded a gold medal by the mayor of his hometown in France for his sporting activity.
Nice body shot there from Mimoune, the right hook, right around the elbow of Jukembayev.
There's the attack to the body from Mimoune. You can see him follow it up again, but you see he just sits there waiting, and he allows Jukembayev to get off first next.
Mimoune looking for an uppercut to land.
And don't forget,
Jukembayev able to stuff it.
Mimoune is 36, man. You know, sometimes it's hard to keep that high energy style as you get older.
travaille sur des coups courts où je transfère le poids, Mohamed. Parce que là, tu travailles trop large. Mais tu le laisses trop travailler. Travaille-toi en premier. C'est maintenant, il faut remonter en puissance, il faut lui faire mal. OK? Ouais, OK.
Superman in the house. The corner of Mohamed Mimoune. Bomac, first official fight with Jukembayev, although they have been training and working together for a couple of years. A lot of time working with the great Terrence Crawford. This is round number 6, second half of our main event of the evening. Red and black trunks for Batyrzhan Jukembayev, Mohamed Mimoune in the white and pink. Southpaw against southpaw, and he keeps on pumping that jab. 777. Looking to finish the year in style. Looking for his 4th straight victory since the setback against the IBF super lightweight champion.
Second straight appearance on ProBox TV.
Yep.
Closing out the year tough.
Big time. 22-1-1. Hugo Alberto Roldan split decision victory, Chris. We called it on September 20th.
Yeah, got dropped in the first round.
He did indeed.
That was a tough style, though, man.
Yeah, very tough
Roldan
style.
was like a road runner and then a kamikaze missile all rolled into one.
Ooh, nice sharp shot there, nice head roll.
I was thinking the same thing, too.
Just short.
Get that head off center, right, Chris?
Yeah, that was beautiful. Mimoune made a good adjustment. He's taking a half step back now.
I was just saying, he's taking a half step back. He's going to step right back in and shoot, though. You can shoot right in between that, you know, especially that it's only a half step. You can kind of fire right off instead of you step in between there.
Oh! Pestered him with the jab. It landed a big shot.
They threw at the same time, but the shorter shot lands. That's Jukembayev.
Shorter, harder shots.
And a miss.
Yeah, I think, if Jukembayev can just wait and counter the wider shots, he can probably get to Mimoune every time. The punches are just so wide, even though they're so close.
Good answer by Mimoune over the top.
Triple hook. He's been taking.
He's been working with Roy.
I was gonna say, taking some lessons from Roy. Mimoune opening up, and this is what I mean. Mimoune has opportunities to open up. It just is few and far between. And when he does well when he opens up and shoots shots.
Just landed another nice slapping right hook. Jukembayev is there to get hit. He's right there in front of you. He's not a defensive wizard.
Again, Chris.
Yeah, he's not a defensive wizard by any means, is Jukembayev.
Yeah, and he doesn't really move his head either. He's got good balance, good fundamentals, Jukembayev, good hand positioning, but there's not a lot of head movement there, so you can find them if you get off. And then when Mimoune gets off, like you saw there, he finds him. Again, that half-step back champ, but no firing right back. You got a guy missing. You can make him pay in between there.
Yeah, push-pull would work really well on a guy like Jukembayev because everything is so short.
Another solid shot. Some good punches landed in this round by Mohamed Mimoune.
And Goldie, as much as it was a better round for Mimoune, Jukembayev landing shots like that.
Yep.
Rocking the legs of Mohamed Mimoune on the inside.
They throw it at the same time. I think that's what they throw it at the same time, but the shorter shot of Jukembayev gets there first. And that's always comes down to fundamentals. Sometimes two fighters throw punches at the same time. The one with the shorter shot will get there first. Fundamentals come into play really, really importantly when you're inside the pocket at close range.
Be brilliant at the basics.
Another 2 again. Move to your left. Yeah. Rhythm in your legs. Okay?
Our main event of the evening, 29th professional bout for Mohamed Mimoune. He has never been finished in his professional career. Southpaw against southpaw, red and black for Jukembayev. Trying to take his opponent, Mohamed Mimoune, into deep waters in which, by the way, we have a new episode daily of Deep Waters on YouTube TV. Subscribe to ProBox TV. Subscribe for somebody as a Christmas gift if you want. That works too.
Good idea, Goldie.
Right?
That's the gift that keeps on giving.
You got that right. 24/7, 365.
Giving punches.
Cheap gift too.
Yeah, that's too.
Cup of coffee.
It's a stocking stuffer.
Yeah, there you go.
Stocking stuffer.
Worth every penny.
I do not
Literally
like commercials.
pennies.
Makes me think of the movie Four Christmases.
Yeah,
where there's a price limit.
The ref wins them for heads, and then what do? They go right back head to head.
Headbutt each other.
He has kept that jab Jukembayev has in the face of Mohamed Mimoune throughout this fight.
Catch and shoot again.
Yep.
Mimoune is tough, man.
Mimoune attempted it there. He missed.
He's been taking big shots on the arms. He got wobbled a few times. Durable, well-conditioned. You'd mentioned the altitude. That's one thing about Mimoune. He always comes in fantastic condition.
Yeah.
He's been 12 rounds, I think 6 or 7 times, something
Absolutely.
like that.
Yep.
Former IBO world champion.
And not a lot of knockouts, but he's been in some pretty good profile fights.
Couple of them right here on ProBox TV.
I know you're the numbers guy, Goldie, but I counted up that I think he has over 220-something professional rounds.
217 and counting. So this would be 224
There you go.
as a professional.
It's a lot of experience.
It is indeed. 24 bouts, 104 rounds coming in for 32-year-old Batyrzhan Jukembayev. There's that left from the problem.
Wide again, though.
Yep.
Throws it around all the time.
30 seconds, round number 7.
I tell you, sometimes Jukembayev throws so short that he misses on his own.
Yeah.
Oh, body head from Mimoune.
I remember talking to Danny Jacobs one time, and we were comparing professional rounds, and I said, I got more rounds than you. He goes, that's not good. It's because I knock everybody out. I was like, oh, good, fair enough.
You don't get paid per punch, right?
That's right. There is no overtime. We don't get paid for overtime.
Round number 8. Merry Christmas, happy holidays to all. Our main event continues. Scheduled for 10. First title defense for Batyrzhan Jukembayev of the WBA Continental North America Super Lightweight belt. And he continues to pump that jab as a lead against Mohamed Mimoune.
See the bruising on the arm of Mimoune, that lead arm that I told you that Jukembayev has been punching since round 3.
And when Mimoune does put the punches together, he does a decent job of even getting through, but which kind of frustrates you that he doesn't do it more often. That feinting rhythm of Jukembayev, he's trying to feint Mimoune out of position, but Mimoune kind of just giving it to him with the same look with the high guard.
Good change-up combination there from Jukembayev.
One thing Jukembayev can do, though, he can step around. There he tried it, but, you know, if you're trying to feint your guy out of position, he doesn't bite. and you know you're shooting and his glove and then you're hitting the gloves, then you can step around and change the angle and throw the shots. That's one thing Jukembayev doesn't do that he could probably add to his arsenal. Especially in this fight, it would help him because he still stays right in front of his man despite not being able to open him up.
You know, it's one of the reasons why if you really watch Jukembayev, he's pretty one-dimensional. He does what he does really well in terms of the way he punches, but not cutting angles isn't change things up. That's why Mimoune has been able to hang in there.
And Mimoune trying to pick up the tempo, bring some of his own power against Jukembayev here in round number 8.
And that's the thing about cutting in angles when you got a guy who's doing earmuffs. He loses you in vision.
Yeah, right.
And you get hit with shots. It creates offensive opportunities like Bam Rodriguez does this weekend. We're going to see him against Sonny Edwards. He's a guy who creates beautiful angles whenever guys lock up in front of him. And that opens up a lot of offensive opportunities. Jukembayev doesn't do that.
You know, those little nuances that sometimes separate very good fighters from world-class fighters, you know? It's those little nuances, those subtle things. And Jukembayev doesn't do that, and especially in a fight like this, it could really help him. Because you see being right in front of him, when Mimoune does get off, it frustrates you on the Mimoune side, too, because Mimoune has opportunities to get off, and he doesn't do it enough. But when he does land some good combinations because Jukembayev is always in front of him.
Under 30 here in round 8.
Seems like Jukembayev is getting off more with snappier shots, but I'll tell you, it does make the fight a little tricky because they're both in front of each other, and not a lot gets through cleanly. Good left hand there by Mimoune.
Actually, a lot of the clean shots Mimoune is landing, but they are few and far between, and they just don't carry the same power and explosion as Jukembayev.
Nice shot there again from Mimoune.
Ouais, mais c'est passé le moment. Il reste 2 rounds. Après, tu en prends un sur 9, Mohamed. Hey, maintenant, il faut y aller. Mohamed, c'est soit tu prends le risque, tu vas, soit tu restes comme ça et tu...
Around on that shoulder and step around to your left. All right, keep breaking him. Don't be still. You're being still. You stand in one spot.
You guys just alluded to that very fact. Jukembayev does what he does very well, but he does what he does pretty much every round as well.
Yeah, it's been...
which isn't always a bad thing.
Consistency is good.
Right.
But he's fighting a guy who's also very consistent. You got to switch things up if you want to create opportunities.
Consistency is good. Little curveball once in a while is even better. Round number 9. Mike Goldberg, Paulie Malignaggi, Chris Algieri. Our last fight live on a Wednesday night for you here in 2023. And we've got the WBA Continental North America Super Lightweight belt on the line. Jukembayev looking to defend it for the first time.
I always find this funny, guys. I mean, just a tidbit from boxing, all right? The EBU title, the European title, you got to be a European citizen to win it, right? But all these North American titles, we got 2 non-North American guys fighting for a North American title. Just like, you know, the oddities of boxing, all right? One guy's from Kazakhstan, one guy's from France, fighting in Plain City for a North American title.
God bless boxing.
But I'll tell you, the EBU title, the European title, bro, you got to
take that very seriously.
Yeah, you got to be a European citizen.
And in March of 2016, it was offered to Mimoune, the UE welterweight title, vacated by that guy right there sitting next to us.
Oh, this guy.
No, but I think he has been European champion.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah,
I welterweight.
But didn't he get that chance, Paulie, because you had it?
I vacated it because I was like, what am I going to go back to Europe and fight? I ended up going back to Europe, though. I lost Egginton.
Who Mimoune fought.
Yeah, Mimoune beat him. Yeah. That was the end of me. When I knew I saw that fight, that was that fight. I don't respect Egginton, who actually is a fun fighter to watch.
Yes, he is, actually.
But I said, all right.
He's had a roller coaster career, that one, up and down.
Yeah.
You count him out, and then he comes back, gets a big win.
But that guy's a fun fighter to watch. I tell you, some of his fights are fight of the year contenders. Not enough people know him, but I tell you, he's been one of the fun ones to watch.
That one was back in October of 2017 in Manchester.
That was a good shot there from Jukembayev.
Yep.
Through, but he comes right back.
Here he goes. I was just going to say, Jukembayev needs, Mimoune needs to make a little bit of a move for this fight here. He's in the fight, again, because Jukembayev also gives him opportunities. But I think he needs to make a real push for the win here. And I think he's trying to do that because I feel like Jukembayev might be slightly ahead.
I got Jukembayev ahead by a lot.
Well, Jukembayev also makes it look closer than it might be because he stands in front and he doesn't create a lot, even though he gets off like we were talking about. If he would just step around and do those subtle things, I think it would become more obvious. I think to us, we see it, but I don't know if everybody sees the subtleties, and unfortunately, including judges.
Yeah. That always scared me about my own career. I didn't think judges knew what I was doing in there. Couldn't see the subtleties, like you said.
And that was way before gummies. Well, anyway, we move on.
Oh, good shot there from
brought it up, Chris, so it's fair game, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And also, this is Florida. So
there you go.
Everything's fair in Florida.
Mimoune making that move, though, this round. He
Yes.
got himself a good round, an active round, which is what you'd like to see, you know? Sort of makes him an enigma, because when he gets active in this fight, it does make for some good exchanges and some good action, and he sort of pushes back Jukembayev, but he doesn't do it enough. For me, Jukembayev gets off with the better punches more often.
And which makes the statement from Mimoune saying that he got robbed in a lot of his fights make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Because that's why he might feel that way.
Yeah. Again, you also got to make an adjustment. If at a certain point you feel like you got robbed many times, you got to fix the optics.
Yeah. Whether it's true or not is another discussion.
Yeah. They're always competitive. I'll say that. There's a good left hand from Jukembayev, and there he did step around. And, you got an
then Mimoune had to chase him, and that didn't allow him to come back, which is why you said it's weird to score it, because Mimoune's landing big shots too. They're just not as big, but they're eye-catching.
And even Jukembayev missed an opportunity there, because when you land that left hand, you turn, you got to hit Mimoune as he's turning as well. He gives you the opportunity, because you got to the spot before he did. He's turning, you can turn him into a punch, but Jukembayev went away. And this is, again, why this fight can sometimes get tricky to score, because of the way the optics look at times.
My old kickboxing coach used to call that gapping. You create a gap, and then you got to shoot the gap. So when you make that guy miss, you take a step. Now you're a step ahead of him. And you create a gap. He has to step into the gap, and you're supposed to be hitting him.
And you're set before he is, exactly.
10th and final round of our main event of the evening. Red and black for Jukembayev, white and pink for Mohamed Mimoune. Mimoune trying to be more problematic here in this 10th round.
I see what you did there. Problematic is like the problem. That's very good. Very good. You're a very clever guy there, Goldie.
Trying to ground the 777, you know.
Yeah.
Get them all out now, because it's the end of the year. Whatever we have left.
That's right. Leave it on the table.
Flash your heads.
You got 2 minutes and 10 seconds left, Goldie. So whatever quips you got.
I got a few.
Any platitudes you need to slip in there, go ahead. Oh, good chopping. Good shot there
from Mimoune. That one was on the belt line. Oh, that one was on the temple.
Oh,
nice uppercut
there from Jukembayev.
Good shot. And Jukembayev created that because he came over and then under. It was a nice shot.
And a nice combination from Mimoune as well. And Jukembayev goes right back. Hey, you know, little your turn, my turn, why not? We're around 10.
Yeah, Jukembayev's getting the better of the your turn, my turn, though.
Ooh. 777 brings good fortune.
Good energy level here from Jukembayev in round 10.
Yeah, you know what? These guys got to go for the win here, right?
Yeah.
And for me, I just like the crispness, the power, the strength of Jukembayev. Mimoune's been in there, he's tough.
And you saw the step around there, and then Mimoune turns, and after the step around from Jukembayev, and Jukembayev followed it with punches, and that's what he could have been doing, really, for a lot of the night.
Mimoune put that lead right on the jaw of Jukembayev a moment ago. But it may be too few on this night, as Jukembayev looking to move to 22-1.
Some of the best work Jukembayev's doing all night. He's getting dynamic here in round 10.
30 seconds. Quick hands by Batyr.
Yeah, nothing to save it for, and he gets off the shots, and then he changes range, and he takes away the opportunity from Mimoune to punch back.
Conditioning certainly not an issue for either man tonight. Final seconds of our main event of the evening.
he won?
I think so. I think he does. Very confident man.
Yeah.
Both guys seem very confident.
It's a fight where not a lot landed cleanly because they both had such, you know, fundamentally sound guards with their arms. And they didn't really get creative offensively too much, but I felt like Jukembayev had the snappier shots, got off a little bit more, was first a little bit more often, and
just also a little heavier with the shot, a little more power.
Eye-catching, a little snappy. You're right.
Mimoune's tough as nails, though.
No question
tough
about
as
that.
nails.
And he never makes it easy for you, I tell you.
No.
And never been finished. Still, again tonight, through 29 bouts.
Yeah, he did get rocked a few times tonight, which does show the power of Jukembayev, but his
that
recovery
catch and
was great.
shoe right hook was a nice one.
Yeah, it was a beauty. That's coming up here in a few rounds. Coming up on this replay. I think it was this round 4 where that shot happened.
We'll see. We got the highlight package. I'm definitely going to see it. Maybe it's right here. Let's see.
Bang.
That was it right there.
There it is.
Great job in the truck, guys.
Beautiful, short little shot. That had Mimoune hurt. His legs were all over the place. That was another shot that had him stumbling. But other than that, Mimoune was taking the punches all night pretty well.
Those compact punches.
And man, anyone who fights in that style, a la Winky Wright, you have to be physically strong, physically durable to do that.
And also, Winky had a nice snappy jab.
It's very snappy.
A lot of times Mimoune does not. And also, Winky did throw the left hand straight. Mimoune never throws it straight. And I don't mind Mimoune's wide left hand, but he's got to mix in some straight ones in between.
Yeah. Winky wasn't a power puncher, but he used to bust guys up. He used to bust guys up with his jab.
Yeah. Snap.
Accumulation of damage, right?
Exactly.
Well, it's snappy on his snap on his punch. It's precision, punch selection, short.
Precision is precise. That's what it's all about. See? One more before we go officially for the last time to Mark Lichtenfeld.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 well-fought rounds, we go to the scorecards. Joanne Richard and William Glover both scored the bout 98-92. Brian Gary sees it 99-91 for your winner by unanimous decision, and still WBA Continental North America Super Lightweight Champion, Batyrzhan Jukembayev.
Got to give the judges credit. I took it away from them last fight when I thought they lost their minds, but this fight, you know, I thought this fight could be tricky, even though we here on our panel thought Jukembayev was clearly ahead. We could also see how it could be tricky. Well, you know what?
They got it right.
Credit for the judges. They didn't let it get tricky.
And Jukembayev victorious in our main event of the evening, and he continues to hold on to that belt, moves to 22-1 with 2 no contests. The great Superman Roy Jones Jr.
Family album.
Just walking by. Happy holidays to Superman and Chris, Paulie. From January, when we welcome Chris to the crew, Paulie, it has just been a magical time here at ProBox TV, brother.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, we've got a solid team here. We got a great response when Chris joined the team as well. These talk shows we do, we're developing a great camaraderie and chemistry that I think the fans are enjoying, both on the broadcasts and on our shows. We've got Sean Porter, Tim Bradley, Teddy Atlas. It really is a fun team atmosphere discussing boxing with such great people and fighters and trainers that have really accomplished so much, calling fights with you, Goldie. And I think the fans have been appreciating it. The fan response has been great, and that's been really appreciated from all of us here.
We were talking about some of these fights about growth, right? Yeah. And that's one thing about ProBox TV is growing constantly. You know, from this team here for watching on Fight Night, the actual fights that we're putting on has grown. And then you mentioned the TV shows, the talk shows. I mean, ProBox is growing fast. I think 2024 is going to be a knockout year.
I remember right at the beginning of the year, I was told, hey, you got a new partner, Chris Algieri. And I'm like, I remember that guy.
That guy.
World champion, Long Island, Brooklyn. You get together just fine. You get along fine. But it really is. It's fun to work with you guys. It's a fun atmosphere. But when you have a partnership like we have, where we truly enjoy what we do and enjoy doing it together, hey, it's not like work, because it isn't work.
And we also don't just talk here. We talk throughout the week, and we lead up to the shows. And it's funny because nobody told me who I was working with.
About Aki.
I just showed up. I'm like, wait, that sounds like Goldie.
What a way to finish the year, Dominic Valle.
in the second. Najee Lopez, boom! In the third round. They both remain unbeaten in their professional careers. Kelvin Davis was pushed by Clarence Booth, but he moves to 11-0. And then in our main event of the evening, the champion leaves with his belt once again as Batyrzhan Jukembayev wins by unanimous decision. For my powerful partners, Mohamed Najee, Chris Algieri, Mike Goldberg saying so long until next time. We see you right back here on ProBox TV.